Alrighty, here we go. Take two, ladies and gents. Take two. Gee whiz. Last night we had some absolute issues when I jumped on the live with the SuperCoach Hub boys, and looks as though my mic is doing me dirty yet again. So thanks for those people in the chat that let me know. But let me just recap. Rewind. Okay, so what I was saying virtually, what I was miming was that I realised that tomorrow night was the Carlton Melbourne game. And I figured off the back of that I wouldn't have been able to do our usual Thursday team sheet live streams tomorrow. So figured just off the cuff, might jump on tonight and answer some questions as usual, comments, all that sort of thing. But a little bit of a change up as well because there has been a request from one of our usual, or I guess tuner-inners via our live stream and our Discord, one of our big supporters in Jonno Carroll was requesting potentially to jump on and have a bit of a yarn. So I might just do that and open up the floor tonight for anyone that wants to jump on, have a bit of a converse, a bit of a chin wag, and we'll go from there. But apologies for the the technical issues there. Gee whiz, I should be across this. It is my day job, working in video production. But yeah, it does you dirty from time to time, and just thankfully it's during one of my hobbies with SuperCoach and not those gigs that actually pay, because that would be awfully embarrassing. But anyway, ladies and gents, let's have a look at our comments because I can see there's a few people sending it through. And yes, I do live indeed. I was just mute for a little moment. First up, Jonno Carroll, that man I spoke of. G'day, legends. Love your content. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you, Jonno. Really do appreciate it. Another supporter of ours, and I haven't heard from her this season, but I have seen her tweeting a couple of times. Ange says, "Hey, Jonno, I agree, absolute legends. Thank you, Ange, and I hope you're well." Does some awesome work as well in one of the spaces that I won't be able to name because I don't want to get the name wrong. But you can fill me in as to what that is, Ange. But I do know. I can't even speak. I do know that you do great work. So Ange, hope you're well. Jonno gives the usual waving emojis. That's his little signature trademark. How good alive, she says, loving the community spirit. Indeed. Look at this, just a bit of a back and forth between these two legends. Speaking of legends, there is another one here in one of our regulars in Adam. Hello! You sound a bit like the Scottfather there. Hello! And thank you for joining. Is it me you're looking for? A bit of, I can see it in your eyes. Yeah, classic. Jonno, hey, Adam. G'day, you loose unit global. I know you were tuning in last night for my guest spot on the Supercoach Hub. Great fun always to jump on with those lads, Verns and the Scobe Nader, as I'll call him. Filling in for JG, I think it is. The Big Dons man was unable to make it, so I got called in off the bench, which always good fun. Just look at the love going back and forth here, back and forth between all these legends. First question here as well, and let us know as well if anyone is keen to jump on. Let me know, and I will send out the link in the comment section, and you can jump in. I'm not too sure how many people can jump into the virtual green room in the back end at any one time, but we might try and get maybe one-on-ones, and we might do maybe a three-way. Bit of a ding ding if we want to do that as well, so people can have a chat and meet for the first time, I guess, virtually, for those people that want to do so. So let us know in the comments section. But Cade does ask, Oliver, Ryan, and Jones in, out, Roberts, Darcy, and Closey. Yes, Luke, Ryan, Claz, and Jones. I do like all those. The only one that I think you could maybe hold a week on would be Darcy. Maybe Closey as well, the Hills Hoist. Just Darcy because he faces Richmond this week. And Richmond give up a fair few points. Let me bring that up in the back end, DFS Australia. And I'll be able to punch it up on screen. Where are we? Defensive position. And we'll roll through as well the teams that have been named for tomorrow night. For the people that haven't seen them yet, a bit of a footnote for those people that own Zach Williams. He has been unable to be declared fit for the game, so we'll be missing this week. So if you do own him, you'll be needing to move him on or at least cover him. But I think he's made enough cash like we hoped, and good time to move him on. So just having a look here at DVP, Defense V position. I'll bring it up on screen now. There it is. Bingo, bango. Should be coming up now. So you'll see here with Richmond, they concede a positive correlation to opposition forwards to the tune of, I think it's the fourth most when it comes to general forwards and key forwards. They give up the fourth most again. So, yeah, it looks as though there's a positive correlation there, and I reckon that the Dogs might stretch their defence. So there's a chance there that Darcy may be able to make us some more cash. I think his break-evens are around about a 40-odd from memory, 42 at a guess. Could be wrong. Let me bring it up on screen. It is 42. There we go. My photographic memory is serving me well. For the moment, usually doesn't. But yeah, so yeah, outside of that, I reckon it's probably a good trade overall. If you want to make that move, I think Darcy, if you're not getting rid of him this week, you can maybe hold him for maybe a week or two. Closey, he's kind of been shot in the foot a bit, just in terms of the game that he had on the weekend, scored a 59. Don't know how much longer he has to go. SuperCoach Plus, I'll just show you this screen here. They're saying if you can score 73, he can go up another, they're saying 73 across the next few games. He could peak at around about 370 odd. So he could make another 100k potentially. But all he needs, as we know, is to have one big spike game. Helps that he's playing North Melbourne and whatnot. But sorry, geez, when I'm doing that, is Will Graham there? Where's Closey? There he is. Apologies. So Closey plays North as well. Scored a 43 on the weekend. So with Graham anyway, that probably saves us having to bring him up. But you can see with Graham, keep hold of him. And Closey probably peaks at around about 4. But again, this is contingent upon him actually scoring 83. Could make another 100k maybe again. So similar to Graham. But all we know is that with the spike score, which Closey has had in 2 of his games to date, that'll really push up his price, and conversely will push his break-even down. So, yeah, don't mind that trade overall. If it brings in Ryan, 100%, I do that. Oliver, I've kind of said in my team talk and the weekly episode that I am keen to look at Oliver for another week, and until he gets 2 big back-to-back scores, I will be pulling the trigger then and willing to, I guess, fork out an extra 30k or thereabouts. But, yep, that is that. Good luck, Cade. Verns, the man who I joined last night on the SC Hub live stream. He says, my dude, bet your mic. Goy, I don't know what that is. Gonna be clean tonight. You've jinxed us, Ferns. You bloody jinxed us, mate. No, I won't blame you. Jonno, continuing with the conversing in the chat. Good, mate. Global, g'day, friends. Good to have you on board again, Global. And they're just going back and forth here. Just having a bit of a conversation. Just don't mind me, ladies and gents. Keep it going. And Adam, a very, very good point. Gentlemen, it's nice to see the usuals in the chat. And ladies as well, in the form of Ange. Just waiting in KFC. There you go. Good way to pass the time. Slim, another regular, an absolute legend who slid into our DMs as well, mind you, and gave us some really nice positive feedback and words of support, which we always appreciate, as well as any constructive feedback, of course, as well. But Slim, you're a good man. And sent through a gif of Chubbs from Happy Gilmore on the piano. It's only just begun. Very good. Only in for a bit. Got the basketball match at 7:50. Well, best of luck, Ferns. And hopefully you stuck around long enough. You're probably gone by now, but stuck around long enough to hear me actually fix my microphone. No sound. Classic. Look at this. Look at this. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. He lives indeed, just rolling through. Another regular. Don't really like cheese. Howdy, Damo, and howdy to you, mates. Again, can't thank you enough from Liam and myself for you just giving us your hard-earned, which is absolutely ridiculous, really. So I can't thank you enough. So you are an absolute legend. Of course, our on a board. He's named after this man. Our cheese board, we're going to call it. In I don't really like cheese. So thanks, mate. Lopez Movies. G'day. Thanks for joining us, mate. Newbie as well. I don't think I've seen you in the chat. So thanks for joining us, Lopez. Apologies if you have. How long do you plan on streaming? I might go for another 45 minutes. Might peak at about an hour. And if we open up the floor, and I guess open mic session, we might put a bit of a timer on each person. So if we have a few requests, it means that we'll get a few people cycling through. Lopez, worth trading Tom Green to get Ryan in, or hold Green and not get Ryan? Can't decide. Yeah, I spoke of it in, I think it was the last night on SuperCoach Hub live stream. I mentioned it, but also in my team talk, I think, and the weekly episode proper. And I said pretty much these words, that if you are having to trade an existing primo / keeper in order to get Ryan in, don't do it. Don't do it. It's a complete waste of a trade. I'd look at other avenues to getting him in. So the classic, 1 down, 1 up. Or if you've got a boost, 2 down, 1 up if you really need to. But I would not be doing that trade. And that there is a classic example of, it's just the human psychology. You see like a big scoring, you're like, I have to get this person in my team ASAP. You don't necessarily have to. It's a massive score, 197, but he's not going to replicate that again. You wouldn't think. Maybe might do it against St Kilda, but I don't think he will. And I guess, with Ryan, he does have that break even, 60 odd, makes it awfully hard to get him into your team, because I think SuperCoach Plus have him projected to surpass 700k, which he may do. But I think for his current price point, he'll probably hover around about 650, 670 odd, I reckon, for the rest of the season. So, if you can get him in now, 100% do it, but don't tear apart your team in order to do so. That's all I'll say. Jonno, of course, says he'll definitely join in. No worries. And here we go. Hey, Demo, I'm trying to make up rank so I can grab merit this week and keep cadence, of course, with trading. However, I kind of want to grab Dale or Dunks this week as pods. Thoughts? I'm in trouble around 14 already. Well, I haven't even really had a look at my how I'm faring with the buys, but I can probably guess that the late buys around 14 and 15, I will be eating shit, I think, because I'm going to be having quite a few players out, but is what it is, as I always say. I think every year there's at least one bye week where you just absolutely kaput, and it's virtually impossible to try and have 18 players on every single week, unless, of course, you haven't brought in any, I guess, genuine primos up until then, which is impossible. Like, you're upgrading your team, so it's inevitable that you're going to have the big dogs out, and there's always at least one bye week, or at least two in recent times, where we're just absolutely smashed because the AFL have fixtured, the players, the big primos being out in the same week. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. But as for your question, Ange, I would say I would grab Merritt this week if you could. If you have a chance of getting Merritt in next week, I would bypass Merritt. That's probably the only thing I'll say with that, just because Merritt has a really nice run coming up. After the Giants this week, he faces North Melbourne and then Richmond, who give up massive points to opposition mids, which, let me just share this tab here. So North Melbourne, they give up at the moment the third most points to opposition mids, and Richmond, they give up the fourth most, actually fifth most, but that is climbing in recent times for Richmond because they've been giving up a shit ton of points to opposition mids. So, yeah, I'd be trying to aim to get Merritt in sooner rather than later. And with Dale, I spoke about it last week. I think he was incredibly lucky that Bevo, just being Bevo, continued with having Richards in the midfield. I think it probably would have been more likely if he was a sane coach that he would have put Richards back into defence. But because Libba is now out for an indefinite period, we might see that continue. So it elevates Dale's stocks in short, but I don't think he's going to be a top 6 defender at this stage. Time to get him probably would have been last week, and his price is getting up there. But yeah, if you're after pods, he's definitely an option, and Dunkley as well. But I just have doubts over Dunkley being a top 8 midfielder from here on out. But yeah, in short, I would go for Merritt if you can, and then bypass Dale and Dunkley. Yeah, but Comes down to your trading cadence. Since you have any money left over for next week and beyond, that is always helpful. But yeah, with guys like Merritt, Sarong, Ryan, those are kind of what I classify as uber primos in the fact that I think they're going to be top three in their line, and yeah, that's really the only situation where I'd be happy enough to use bank to, I guess, reach for those big game players. So yep, I would definitely do that with Merritt if given the chance. Adam, oh boy, this is a lot of comments for you to catch up on, boss. Yes, I've slowly caught up on them, just cycling through because there's been quite a few people just having a bit of a yarn amongst yourselves, which is always good though. Always good to see. Michael, thanks for joining us, mate. Hi, Damo. Good luck this week, and likewise to you. As Meek has the last buy, do you think I can hold him until his buy and then flip him to a primo coming off the round 14 buy? I think you can. Let me have a quick squeeze at how he's going SuperCoach wise with break even and everything else. I didn't get Meek. In retrospect, probably should have, but I was a little bit worried with Ned Reeves potentially coming back in. But he's made you 119k, so he's done the job and been able to score quite well as well. To his credit, break even 59, so it looks as though he's going to be making a little bit more coin for you, at least this week. So, as you said, they've got the round 15 bye. Who's he face? So, St Kilda, a bit of a tougher matchup. Port, they're there, so. Brisbane, let me just have a look at the DFS Australia. And I'll have this on another screen so I can see as to who he's got. Okay, so St Kilda, and I'll read this out. Where are St Kilda? They actually give up the third most points to opposition rucks, so that's a good positive matchup. Port Adelaide, they have a slightly negative correlation. Nothing to really write home about. Brisbane, they have a similar sort of round about the mark as Port Adelaide. Adelaide, they are the fourth most restrictive ruck. Fourth most restricted to opposition rucks. The Giants, they actually give away by far and away the most points to opposition rucks. And then Richmond, leading into the Hawthorn bye, they give up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about the seventh most points to Oppo rucks. So, yeah, I don't mind that in terms of his fixturing that he has coming up for Miki. And, yeah, I reckon you could hold him for up until his round 14 bye. Round 15 bye. Trade him coming into that week. So I do like that planning, Mick. Well done there. And you can probably flip him to an English if you don't have him. So best of luck, mate. Like your planning, you're in the perfect train of thought. Already planning for the buys. Adam, Michael, don't wish him luck. I'll have to verse him this week. Yes. Yeah, but you might be very fortunate if Sweet doesn't come up. I'm just praying that Naismith keeps his spot and can eke out a bit of a nice score, or at least have a bit of a spike game, because he's due. He was showing some nice form in the preseason, old Naismith, so we'll see what happens there. But I might be gobbling a donut if Sweet isn't able to come up. Cooper, good old Scoops. For those people don't know him, of course, I say this all the time. He is and I quote the great man, the sole admin of the AFL trades rumours. I forget the full name, apologies, Coops, but whatever it is, that Facebook group, and it has his own YouTube as well, so check him out. Very entertaining. Has his usual goal kicking challenges that he has with AFLW players and AFL rookies, and upcoming draftees, of course, as well. He says, I've got no boost left. I'll hold Green because he's too good to let go. Yep, very, very good. I would not recommend getting rid of Green, considering he's only going to be out for 1 week, if that. He might even play this week. So we'll play a rookie if he doesn't play, but he might play anyway, as you said. Yep. I got rid of Yo and a rookie for Luke Ryan and McKercher. I do like that move, mate. I do like that. Let me know what rookie it is you've got rid of, because, yeah, Yo to Luke Ryan is 100% lock and load. I do endorse that. McKercher, it's a bit of a tougher one, I think, because Again, I'm not so much a fan of trading in rookies that are that higher price point. He's already, 300k or thereabouts. I think he probably will make around about close to 100k, so at least you're getting something in return. But I'm always a fan of, if you're trading to someone, getting money in return up front, because that just helps the trade cadence from week to week. Whereas I guess if you're getting in a McCurch now and you're not getting any money in return, it does mean that you're obviously going to have to wait to, when you cash in McCurcher in order to get really any monetary return. So yeah, it's up to you. But I mean, you could potentially trade someone like I guess you could probably go Williams. Williams would be around about the mark. Yeah, you get 25k or thereabouts from McCurcher. What's McCurcher? Not even 16k, but at least that gives you a bit of coin in return. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But if you're having to, I guess, upgrade, say, a Graham to McCurcher, that's going to cost you an extra 23k. 32k roughly. Which again, I'm not so much a fan of dipping into your bank in order to get a McCurcher in, because then you'd have to sort of look at it in terms of the 32k you're having to fork out in order to go Graham to McCurcher, subtract that 32k from the overall profit that McCurcher is going to make you, and that's going to, obviously shave off a bit of value that McCurcher is going to be giving you if you use him as a bit of a playing cash cow. But don't mind the move. It's a bit out there, and I know there's some people as well that will be making that same move. So best of luck, Scoops. Global thoughts on Pete Ling. I am not so much a fan because of the incoming. Let's just have a quick look at the injury list. We'll bring it up on screen now. Cogs by reports he's close to returning, and a couple of others as well. Where are we? So he's actually not even listed. There you go. That's the reason why. So Cogs is actually due to return this week. And if Green's out, that's going to help Pete Ling, at least for this week. But yes, longer term, I'm not so much a fan of Pete Ling. I know he scored well when he's been playing. But with the return of Cogs, if Green plays, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pete Ling make way or at least be sub. And that's a bit of a worry. But yeah, don't mind the thinking. We'll wait and see what happens with team sheets. The Aiden Staff 69, Jennifer 2, ding, ding. Like that, mate. Bailey Dale or Go Sinclair as a pod. Between those two, I don't like really either, but because I just don't think either are going to be a top 6 in their line. But let's have a look in closer detail. Sinclair, so he's been getting quite a few CBAs and actually scoring quite well to his credit. 113, 134, but keep in mind as well, 134 was against North Melbourne. He's got a 124 against Richmond. Again, keep in mind that's Richmond. So it looks so it might be matchup based as to where he's actually scoring well. Faces Hawthorn should be a good matchup. Freo a bit harder. Melbourne even harder. West Coast, easy matchup. Gold Coast, relatively so. So I don't know about Sinks. He does present a bit of value, obviously down 58.5k on his starting price. And then Dale, we'll have a quick look at him. As I said, his stocks have kind of risen, in my opinion, off the back of Libba being out. They might stick with Richards in the midfield again. And I'll bring that up on another screen, just the CBA attendances of the Dogs. So, as you can see here, actually, Richards didn't get as many CBAs as what I thought. Interesting. I thought I saw him running through the middle. He probably more the centre more than anything on the weekend. But yeah, interesting. So you can see there, maybe off the back of Libba being injured, he might sort of jump back up again. So it might elevate the stocks for Dale. But yeah, of those two, if I had to choose, I'd probably go Dale, maybe. What's he going to make? Another 25k. So he's pretty much made as much money as what he can for you. I can't see him sustaining those scores of 175. Again, with this, keep in mind that St Kilda conceded the most points to defenders. So you can explain that off as that. And Richards wasn't playing in defence. Freo, he did well enough against Hawthorn, bit of a minnow team. Richmond, he probably will score against quite well as well because they give up points to opposition defenders. But after that, it gets a little bit harder. His fixture: the Giants, Sydney, Collingwood, Brisbane. So yeah, and especially if Richards gets thrown back, yeah, his sort of scoring is going to regress down to around about 95 or thereabouts. But I'll allow a bit of a higher ceiling for Hawthorn, obviously, and likewise Richmond. But after that, I do think he's going to regress down to that sort of 90, 95 average, which at that point, I don't think you'll see him as a top 6 defender. So neither. In summary, neither. But if I have to choose, flip a coin. Really, I don't know who's going to really outperform the other. Verns, I'm heading out, y'all. Enjoy the pod. Keep smashing it, Damo. Thank you, Verns, and likewise to yourself, mate. Best of luck on the B-ball court. Hope you smash it. Get a few swishes, as it were. You can tell I just know nothing about basketball. I don't really like cheese. I'm starting to get cold feet on my trades I was set on. Really looking at Jack Sinclair now. But how much do we put into a game against North? That's exactly it. As I just spoke of there, when you're looking at scoring and stuff, make sure you pay attention to the matchup and go across to DFS Australia, which I've got on screen here, and check the scoring correlation against certain teams, because it does mean that some are overinflated depending on matchup. So yeah, and I think that Sinclair, I mean, for his price, he is a relative bargain. But even then, I'd still go for Stewart. And probably goes back to your question, Aiden, Staff 69 ding ding. I'd go for Stewart ahead of Dale and Sinclair, in my opinion, and wait a week at least on Stewart because he's going to drop in price a little bit more. Steve Sabo, if I post my team in the Discord, can you tell me if it's fixable or if I'm just fucked? Yeah, let me have a look, mate. One sec. Where have you posted it? Yeah, post it in the Rate My Team channel in Discord. And speaking of which, for those people that haven't joined our Discord, let me grab you a link. And feel free to jump on in because it is free to do so. And I highly encourage everyone to jump on in. Obviously, great community to be a part of, and it is growing. Last year was a little bit stagnant, but it's thriving now, and good to see. I mean, the more and more people that jump in is great to see because people throw out questions, other people answer, and it's great to see. Nice little spot to jump on where you can chat about SuperCoach 24/7. So yeah, let us know, Steve-O. Whack it in the Discord, and I'll be able to help you out there. Jonas, good to see you joining us, mate. I'm trading out Powell, Roberts, Lyons for Jones, Oliver, Sinclair. Don't mind that. Lyons, you've kept him this long. Wait to see for team sheets because they have quite a few injuries, the Lions, and wouldn't surprise me to see if Lyons actually comes back into the Lions side. So you might want to keep him because I think his break-even is a little bit lowish, maybe. I may be dreaming. His break-even's, it's 46. But even then, you might be able to play him. But if it does allow you, as you say, to get up to a Oliver and Sinclair, yeah, don't mind it. Lopez, appreciate that. And I'm new to the lives, but I've been watching the YouTube videos for the last 2 months. What an absolute legend you are, mate. Thank you in return. Love your work, and I love your work for tuning in, mate. Really do appreciate it. And you've said also, my trades this week, Roberts and Powell out for Jones of the Giants and Dunkley. That is a W, indeed. I don't think Powell's going to really be a keeper as such yet. So, yeah, probably makes sense to upgrade him. And Roberts as well. He's made 250k almost for us. And it's virtually been 2 cash cows in one, rolled into one. He's been really, really good. But having said that, and you would have heard us chat about it with Roberts, that being Steve-O and myself, of course, he joined me this week in lieu of Liam, who unfortunately couldn't make it because he's had a couple of late night events for his work. They bloody made him work hard for the money after 5 p.m. until 8. So I was unable to make it. But Steve and I had a chat about Roberts, and we said that if you aren't flushed for, I guess, quality players in defence especially, or even in the midfield as well, being a DPP player, you could probably hold Roberts because he has scored, 4 or 5 games from memory, 80 plus. So, yep, don't mind that. Otherwise, if it does allow you to get to a genuine primo, cash him in as you have done there, Lopez. So, good move. Adam, scroll down on the right-hand side, Damo, under the games, and it will show you the buys in numbers. I'm sure you know this, but just saying as I don't know for ages. Are you chatting about the SuperCoach side of things. Let me have a quick squiz. I don't know. Let us know what you're referring to there, Adam. If it's on the SuperCoach page or if it is. Oh, wait, here you go. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, apologies. There it is right there. Let me just remove your comments and you'll be able to see it in its full glory. Yeah, so it shows you how many players you've got out across the buys in each line as well. So it does definitely help you. And the total number of players. I mean, it doesn't tell the full story, obviously, because it doesn't count those players. Obviously counts those rookies and stuff that may be injured or maybe aren't getting games. So it doesn't tell the full story, which it does if you go, obviously, up here. If you've got SuperCoach Plus, click on that, and then it shades out the players that aren't available and gives you a bit more of a better perspective. But no, very, very good point out there by you, Adam. Always coming through the goods. We also have our rookie coach AFL, Damo, you legend in turn, mate. Thanks for joining us. Going well. Looking at bringing in Ryan this week, plus either Clary or Stewart, which would be better. I would go for if it's Clary or Stewart. That's a tough one. I mean, you could probably go for Clary at a pinch. I think Stewart, I would love to get just based upon his value, but Clary's also value. But if you want to wait a week on Clary, and if you're able to get Clary next week, because he'll probably go up to around about the 500k mark if he scores, what he's kind of projected to, about 120, because he averages quite a bit against my mob, and boy, do I know it. He just matches up on us so well. So yeah, if you got the coin to bring in Clary next week, I'd go for Stewart and Ryan. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on Clary with Ryan, mate. But both really good options, I think, Clary and Stewart. So yeah, have a look ahead as to what gives you the most options going forward beyond this week if you go for a Clary compared to a Stewart and vice versa. But again, thanks for tuning in, mate. Really do appreciate it. Jimmy Mack looking at moving Sam Darcy down to Darcy Jones. A couple of Darcys there. And then moving, which is good. Yep, don't mind it. And then moving Williams on to upgrade to Ryan. Thoughts on this move? I like it, mate. Even though you're probably going a little bit early on Sam Darcy, because as I said, you could probably hold him for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and eke out a bit more cash with him. But you can't be too frugal in this game. And if it does allow you to upgrade to a genuine primo in Ryan, I would 100% do it. Because keep in mind that even though Darcy may make some more money, I'll flash it up on screen here. If I'm comparing the pair. So Darcy may make another, 12 to... I reckon he'll probably score around about closer to 80, 90, just based upon the matchup against Richmond. Hopefully, fingers crossed. He'll probably go up maximum 20k. But if you compare that to Ryan, who has a break-even of 64... And if he scores a 139 as projected, he's going to go up 34k. So that's a difference of, if Darcy goes up 20k, Ryan goes up 34k, that's a difference of 14k that you're going to be behind if you hold Darcy and try and opt for Ryan next week. So, yep, 100% like that, mate, and endorse that fully. So best of luck, Jimmy. Slipping Ginny. Chris, thanks for joining us, mate. What's the best trade? Ryan and Parrish in with 45k in the bank, or Parrish and Oliver with 212 in the bank? Not going Stewart this week. I'm not so much a fan of Parrish. Sorry, I just got a text message from Carlton just interrupting the stream. I was saying I have access to the Captain's Club, as I do every week. What are they doing? So, yeah, I'm not so much a fan of Parrish. I would prefer to go for Ryan and Oliver, if that's an option for you, which it probably should be, considering that Parrish and Oliver are around about the same price. I think Oliver's cheaper than Parrish, isn't he? 476. Parrish is 528. Yeah, I would personally go for Oliver and Ryan as an alternative option. Because that'll still give you 90k, 100k in the bank at a guess if you go for Ryan and Oliver. So it's a bit of a happy medium between, both of those options you've tabled there. Let me know if that works for you, mate. But I would personally go for that. I'm a little bit worried about Parrish with his ongoing soft tissue injuries. Alrighty, so I think someone sent in their team in Rate My Team, have they? Yes, they have, Steve. Yes, I'll jump into your team in a moment, mate. Who just sent through his question earlier. So I will address that now. After Adamo. Is it Adamo? How many weeks out justifies trading a Primo? I have Yo and Green. I would be trading Yo. Anything 2 weeks plus, I would be considering it. With Yo and his storied soft tissue injuries, I would be looking to punt him. Just because I reckon it's going to be a little bit more than 2 weeks that West Coast are slating. And as for Green, he's only going to be out for the 1 week, so hold him. Again, highly owned, will be a keeper as well, and Primo keeper at that. So yeah, keep Green, highly owned. You're going to be, not behind the 8 ball because of the high ownership. So keep him in your team and punt Yo because he's made you some very, very nice cash and treated you well with some nice on-field scores up until now. So yeah, you can justify punting him. Let's jump across to the Discord here, and I'll see if it lets me show it on screen. I don't know if it will. Let me give it a go. Share screen. No, it doesn't allow me. Actually, it does. Sorry, let me bring it up. Rate My Team. Will this work? There we go. So yeah, for those people tuning in as well, have a look at that, and you can see there. This is the Discord virtually. You can jump on, free to join as you can see, and a lot of people asking questions. You can post your team and so on and so forth. But that is your team, Stephen. Let me bring it up in a bit of a larger size. That doesn't really help at all. Thanks a lot, Discord. So you've said 94k in the bank, 19 trades, no boost. Feel like I'm stuffed. Too many dead rookies. Feels like there's too many guys on the bench that I can't do much with. Okay. Oh, look at this. Very smart by you, Adam. Adam is there saying, oh my God, hi YouTube. Bit of a breaking the fourth wall here. Bit of an inception. And as you can see there, a couple of absolute legends helping out with the question as well in Yanan Rates Me, aka Big D78, and Steve saying you went Sharp and Roberts out for Dacos and Jones. So I think with where you're at, you'll need to address your forwards, obviously, and your mids. But it's hard as well because there aren't really any good forwards. I mean, you could look at Dylan Moore from the Hawks next week. And your defense. Yeah, okay. So for your trades that you've done, you've gone Sharp and Roberts out for Dacos and Jones. I like both of those trades, mate. Dacos is a must-have, and I think he's only going to go up in price. So 100%. That there is a tick of approval. There you go. You can see that there. And Steve-O is typing as well. He's taking his time. That's right. We'll leave it there and we'll continue on with the questions. I've lost my... Oh, there you go. Steve has said, it's my first year playing this year, so just want to know where I stood with it at this point. Yeah, no, your team's looking good, mate. You'll just need to address the forwards, but I mean, there aren't really any forwards to put in your team as it stands. You're kind of doing as well as you can. And yeah, look to beef up your mids. And then switch Reed into your forward line is probably one recommendation I would do. So you're not having to field a Sonzi. And yeah, then from there, you're looking pretty good. Like your defense is pretty solid. Just need a D6. And yeah, looking pretty good, mate. So best of luck with that. Where are we? I've lost my spot here. in the comments. I think there's more coming through than what we're answering. Let me have a squeeze. Actually, let's have a look. Hold on one sec, ladies and gents, because I want to see if Liam is available and if he wants to jump on. And I'll see if he is keen. Quickly sending. Alrighty, Liam is tied up. All good. Yep. No, he's tied up and he's absolutely cooked because keep in mind, Liam has been doing late nights from 5, actually working full day, 9 to 5, and then working beyond that until 8, looking after their events. So yeah, he's putting in the hard yards. Is the great man, and I've got my white cat all over me. Which bit of an Easter egg for those people that tuned into our weekly vodcast that was posted yesterday with Steve-O. You'll notice behind me here on the cat tower, our little cat named Paddy, after, of course, the great Patrick Cripps. Just wanted to get his head on camera. So let me know if you've seen it and if you spotted it, because I was waiting for people to point it out in the comments, but they haven't. But if you haven't seen it, go back, check it out. And I think it's during the solo sections with me, the intro, and then the back end after Steve and I have a chat, and you'll see him jump up there just chilling like a villain. Really quite funny. Alrighty, let's catch up to where we were, which was... so Adamo, we answered that. Jonas, I'm more confident on Sinclair over Tom Stewardess. He seems to be getting minor injuries most games and has around 14 bye to boot. Yeah, that's the thing. If it doesn't work in with your bye, totally understandable. Vinny, hi Damo, I'm stuck with 2 options. Double downgrade to Oliver and Darcy Jones from Yo and Sexton with over 400k bank. One up, one down, and get a primo like a Bont or Ryan instead of Oliver. Okay, so your first is a double downgrade to Oliver, which I wouldn't say that's a traditional downgrade, but very nice. But of course, downgrading Yo to Oliver, that'll give you a fair bit of bank, which is good to see, 400k. Sexton's probably time to move on from him, unless he's being of use for as a loophole option. That's probably the only thing I'd consider with Sexton. As for your second option, one up, one down, and get a primo like Bont or Ryan instead of Oliver. Well, with 400k in your bank, you're not really benefiting from it too much. I mean, obviously Oliver will help you, but if Oliver spuds it, and if you're looking back and you're like, well, shit, I could have gone for a Bont or a Ryan, I probably would go for that. Like, if you have an opportunity to go for Bont, especially now, 100% lock and load that in, mate. Let's have a quick look at Bont now, because he's hitting his straps now. And for those people that didn't start him, they are getting him at an absolute discount. So let's have a quick squeeze at that. So LeBont, obviously coming off his highest score, 142 for the season. And he's only gone up 9.1k on the weekend, but he's still 101.5k cheaper than his starting price. So, yeah, he faces Richmond this week, who you would have heard me talk about in the Captain's I Am the Captain Now segment. He's a guy that you could probably almost straight out, flat out, put the C on. Look what he's averaged, or at least scored in his past 3, 136, 122, and 153. Then if we look at the career stats and the stretched out history against the Tigs, have a look at this. Utterly ridiculous. 145, 125, 128, 67, then a 114, 130, 129, 98, 45, 127, 116, 91. So if you don't have Bond and you have an opportunity to get Bond in, 100% lock and load him in, Vinny. So I'd be going for Bont and going for Bont and Darcy Jones 100% do that. That'll probably still give you with a bit of coin left over anyway, wouldn't it? So, yeah, go down that route, Vinny. Get Bont in. Whack the VC on him because you'll be able to VC him first. If you've got Dacos, he's my second option as well as your sort of C if Bont doesn't kill it. And yeah, go down that route. So yeah, 100%. I would be going for Bond Vinny. Hold Your Ghost. How's your round 14 by looking, Damo? It's looking pretty shit, I think, from memory. Probably only going to get shitter because at this stage, I am kind of ignoring it and going for as many of the big primos as I can. Bit of a change up from last year where I tried to sort of work out and balance the 2 shit buy rounds from last year. This year, yeah, not so good. I'll need to sort of plan ahead and work out as to what rookies I'll be able to bring in that could help me. But as you can see here, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if McAuliffe can come in, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay. Well, there you go, 18, so that's surprising me. But of those guys I've currently got that may be out of my team by that stage, actually, I'll probably still have all those guys, I reckon. Hopefully they're still playing Jones and Garcia, or the 2 Garcias, and McAuliffe can come into Richmond's lineup, which he probably might even do that as soon as this week. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But that's pretty much how my team looks for the round 14 bye. Hopefully yours is going all right. Hold Your Ghost. Let us know. Sam, Yo, Cadman, and Karmas for Ryan, McKercher, and Jones. Don't mind that. I would then target the likes of Stewart and Zorko next week if Zorko keeps his role and both stay fit. That's the big question mark about Zorko. I am still going to target Zorko as my very last upgrade just because I don't trust him. His body's going to break down. He's like 35. He's as old as me, 36 now. And yeah, I don't think he's going to sustain his fitness because it would be an out-of-the-box season if you can. But yeah, bit of a risk for me at this stage of the season, but I can see the appeal. Samati Randhawa, how long is Green out for? He's out for 1 week at most at this stage. He's a test at the moment, may even play as soon as this week. So just keep an eye on team sheets, mate, and let me, let us know what you're going to do if you're going to trade him out. I wouldn't trade him out, though, if he's only out for a week. So, yeah, hold him if you can, Samati. And where are we? And you've said, thanks for the advice on Zeret. We've all gotten used to grabbing him in the back half. Yep, exactly right. And I feel I have to get him this week. Bont, Butter, Sarong, Steele, Ryan are already there. No Green. Oh, well, you're in a great position then, Ange, not having Green. Yeah, you can target Green for that cut price of 541.1k when he returns or even after this week. I mean, he's going to be, I imagine, even if he's playing, he's going to be not at full capacity. By reports, his ankle's blown up and he doesn't have the freedom of movement in his ankle after rolling it. So, yep, you're in a great position there, Ange. And with that midfield, chef's kiss, 100%. So, best of luck with that. Jonno, I'm good to go when ready, Damo. Yep, we might dedicate some time at the back end here once I churn through all these comments, and then we'll get some people on. Cooper Gretsch, the rookie I got rid of is Sam Darcy. I'm tempted to not do mid prices, and people got sweet, and I thought I should have to, but didn't want to miss out on another. No, that's fair, mate. That's totally fair. I think Darcy, as I said, he's probably a week or two away, if not this week, from being punted. So yeah, I don't mind punting rookies a week or two earlier if it does allow you to get a genuine primo. Big Marbior Chol. G'day, mate. Good to see you joining us. Last boost, good value. Yo, Roberts, Massimo to Ryan, Zeret, and Sullivan on the bench. I do like that, mate. I do like it, but if you can avoid it, I would not go for Sullivan yet and go for Darcy Jones instead if you can swing some DPP swings, because I do think Jones is going to be a very nice cash cow to have and probably one of the last good cash cows in terms of scoring output and job security, because I do think he will keep his spot in the side, at least for the short term. Sullivan, I'm a little bit worried because Jordan De Goey and Mitchell are yet to come back into the Pies lineup. And when they do, I think he's going to be one of the first out, unfortunately. So I would prefer to wait at least another week and then see if Sullivan keeps his spot, which I think he will this week, but see if he keeps his spot next week with De Goey and Mitchell making their return. Anthony, but otherwise, sorry, Big Marbiel Chol. I do like that trade, but if you can sub out Sullivan for Jones, that would be the perfect trade-ins. Anthony Tunus, I'm not going to, pronounce that again because I'll butcher it, so I'll just say Anthony. Is Roberts and Powell to Oliver and Dale a good move? I don't mind it. I mean, Oliver I prefer over Dale, as I said, spoke about Dale earlier. I don't see him being a keeper. Might be outsider, might be a sort of a D7 to D10 type number. I prefer to sort of reach for the top shelf. And I guess the value of Dale is pretty much been sapped. So if you got Dale a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I would say yes, but not so much now. But Powell, if you can, yeah, I don't think he's going to be a keeper in his own right either. So yeah, it's up to you. I prefer Oliver of those two. Cooper Gretsch, if McKercher plays halfback, I don't mind it. I've had my worst start ever. Top 37%. Well, hopefully you can turn it around, Scoops. I know there's a few people that have had tough starts, Liam being one of them as well. But it's a long season. We're only heading into round 9 now. So, there is time to turn it around. Goulden, not Merritt. Okay, that might change things then. Again, I don't think Goulden's going to be a top 8 mid. We'll probably push for it, but I still like Goulden. He's someone that I love watching, so yeah, I don't mind the trade. With Goulden. Scoops, stupid top 18 rubbish. Yeah, 100%, mate. Dan! Freo fan, good to see you joining us, mate. Always an absolute legend and supporter of our work. Hey, Damo, would you get in Jackson to cover Sweet if he's out 114 break even? I am still of the opinion that Jackson's going to be a top 6 forward. So, given Jackson he's dropped in price, hasn't he? Let's have a quick squeeze. So, he's in my team. He's at 485. Yeah, he's actually 61.6k lower than his starting price. And being a Freo man, let us know as well. But I think that Darcy, he's had already one too many niggles. He's only been back, a couple of weeks, and he's already had a niggle. So, doesn't bode well for the rest of the season, in my opinion. And I do think that Jackson will be taking the number 1 mantle back from Darcy when inevitably Darcy ranges himself further, or at the very least, Darcy is going to be managed from here on out. So I do like Jackson. If you can get him now, his break-even is 114. You could probably wait a week. But yeah, I do like Jackson as an option. So going early on him, if Sweet is out for cover, yep, I do like that, Dan. Good thinking, mate. Ange Merritt in to join the other known guns. 146k left in the bank. This feels right. Thanks, Damo. No worries. You are killing it, Ange. By the looks of it, so well done to you. Tip of the old cap. Bailey Murphy, thoughts on McKercher, Sarong in for Mass and Roberts. Yep, Massimo out, Roberts out. I like 100% Mass. Get him out. Sarong in. That there is perfect. McKercher, spoke about him before. I can see the merit for jumping on him. If you're sort of struggling for a bit of coverage and defense, especially. And he might be able to eke out a bit more cash for you. Let me bring him up on screen now so we can have a quick look at him in a bit more detail. Negative 61 break even obviously helps. Went up 58.9k on the weekend. Could go up another. They've got him projected SuperCoach Plus for 66. If he can average around about 80 odd, he'll be pushing towards 100k profit from here on out. So, yep, don't mind that at all, Bailey. Best of luck. DJS78, hi Damo, you do good. You good thing. Thanks, mate. I don't know why, but I have no faith in Darcy Jones's job security as a pick, or am I just worrying too much? I can see merit in it, because as I spoke about before, with Cogs coming back into the team, someone has to go out. But I do think the likes of Peatling will probably go out before him. What's his name? Thomas as well is another one that might be sub. So Darcy Jones, I think from what I've seen, he's passed the eye test. And by reports, the Giants absolutely love him. He actually reminds me a lot of, putting my recruiter's hat on here, but he reminds me a lot of a young Josh Kelly. Just the way that he runs, moves, grabs the ball, all that sort of stuff. So he's an absolute young gun and provides a bit of spark to the Giants team and a bit of leg speed, which is good. I'm happy enough with Jones, provided you don't have to, you're not forced to play him on field. If you are, maybe it's a little bit of a worry, but yeah, I am confident in his short-term job security, and it would probably be answered this week with the team sheets, because Cogs, by reports, will come back in, And if Darcy Jones keeps his spot with Coles coming back in, that there is probably one of the biggest ticks of approval. So if that happens, bring in Darcy Jones with a bit more confidence. Finn, Bonniwell, VCNC options. I'm going for, as you can see here, Bont and Dacos. Bont with the VC. I'm confident he will smash out a big score against the Tigs, conceding bulk points to opposition mids are the Tigs. And I'm going for Dacos up against West Coast. Alex Gould, hey mate, prob's been asked heaps, or maybe one of you guys can help. Is the Oliver punt really even worth risking? I think it is. I'll bring him up on screen now, and this will probably be the last time I'll be talking about Oliver in this much detail, but covered it in the on SuperCoach Hub last night, so check them out, but also in the weekly podcast, which is up as of yesterday. Has a break-even of 48. Keep in mind that the two teams that he faces next up are Carlton and West Coast. Carlton, he actually he averages the most against of any team and averages 122.8 in 9 games. And to give you a bit of a taste, his last 3, 140, 126, 128. And if we look at the extended form against Carlton, look at this: 128, 126, 140, 127, 158, and 88, 139, 116, and an 83. So he is someone that I expect to punch out another big score this week. But even so, I'm a little bit worried. And as I've said, I'm sticking by my guns. I've always said I won't be touching Clary until I see 2 big back-to-back scores for him. And then, of course, West Coast as well should score well against. So I do think there's merit in bringing him in this week. And again, the Saints he scores well against as well. So I don't mind going early on this week. But if he does score quite well around about that 130-odd mark, I can see him going up in price around about 5.10 or thereabouts. So if he does, it is what it is. And I'm fully confident that, I'm confident that I'll have enough cash left over for next week for myself to bring Clary in. But yeah, I can see he's a risk that a lot of people are taking at the moment because he is among the most traded in, which I'll bring up on screen now quickly. We'll go the top. We'll go all coaches, and we'll see he is the second most traded in, 12%. And if we look at it in terms of the top 1%, as to what they're thinking, he is again the second most traded in. So there is merit to bringing him in, and kind of the risk has been mitigated by, I guess, the high trade-ins of Clary. So don't mind if people want to go early on him. I say early in the respect of, people like myself might be waiting another week. But yeah, don't mind it. Aero, evening gents. An evening to you. 2 sets of trades to consider this week. You've said Roberts and Williams out, to Martin or Houston and Jones in. I assume you mean Martin and Jones or Houston and Jones. I'd be going for Martin and Jones 100%. Martin has flashed a higher ceiling at a more frequent rate compared to Houston. And even though I think Houston will probably be a top 6 defender or thereabouts, I think Martin's going to probably be around about a top 3 to 4, as it's looking at the moment, defender. So get him in. And also that DPP is also pretty helpful as well. The Aiden Staff 69, Sinclair's heat map looks juicy when he is playing in the midfield. Yeah, he had quite a few games in the midfield last year as well, Sinclair. So yeah, he's shown that he can score well from time to time in that role. So yeah, don't mind him. There it is, the Discord link in the comments section. If you're joining us late, scroll up and click on that link. It'll prompt you to join our Discord, which is virtually like a bit of a Twitter sphere, a forum like Big Footy, and you can jump in there and join the thriving, ever so growing community, SuperCoach Edge community there. So jump in there and join the community. Aero, this is your other trade, sorry. Williams and Comben, sorry, I jumped the gun. Williams and Comben out for Oliver and D Jones. No, I'd stick with your first one, mate, which is this right here. Go for that and go for Martin and Jones. C Dracos 98, should I trade in Stewart or use a boost to bring in Ryan and D Jones and Sullivan for the Pies? Yeah, I spoke about that earlier with someone else, I think, from memory. I'd wait a week on Sullivan if you can, just because the impending return of De Goey and Mitchell might scuttle Sullivan's spot in the team. But yeah, if you can bring in Jones and Ryan, and then maybe go for, don't know who else you'd be able to go for. Um, yeah, you could probably wait a week or two on Stewart as well because he's got a high enough break even. But yeah, I'd probably go for Ryan and Jones, and then even if you needed to sort of take a punt on another rookie, who could you go for? Maybe one of the Lions guys, the Breville, as we'll call him, Bruce Revel, or Morris, I think his name is. But yeah, not so much a fan of getting Sullivan in, but yeah, if you want to take the risk, go for it. But normally I wouldn't. Steve, yep, we went through your teammate. Aero again. Sorry, you've just repeated that in a bit better detail there. But yeah, I'd be going for the first option there, mate. Moobs, Rizza, Martin, Houston, Young, or Zorko. I'd go in order of Martin, Young, Houston, Zorko. Zorko I say last because of his injury history, and I'm anticipating he'll break down, and I'll feel more comfortable getting him as one of my last trade-ins. Josh, g'day, mate. I'm in a pickle. Would you trade Harley Reid if he was your only way to get Luke Ryan? Also, could Short be a good pick? I wouldn't be trading Harley Reid at the moment, especially just only for the sake that there aren't any other good options in the forward line, really, outside of maybe Dylan Moore. Outside of those guys that we already have in Heaney, Jackson, and Flanders, I'm referring to there. So yeah, I think Reid does have a bit more cash to make, and yeah, wouldn't be punting him as yet. Short, yeah, I'm not confident that he's going to be a good pick, unfortunately. Luke Ryan, yeah, it's hard as well because I think he is a must. Whether or not you get him in now or you wait later on, there's merit in your case. I think potentially trading out Harley Reid for Luke Ryan, Josh. But if there's another avenue you can take, trading out someone else for Luke Ryan, I'd explore that. Sinclair or Dale, I spoke about that. Coin flip, sorry, Dreezy. I don't know, mate. That's a tough one when we're talking about players that I don't think are going to be top 6 defenders. So really hard to separate, mate. Oliver, Williams, Yo, and Cadman out for Dacos, Clary, and McCurch with 200k, or should I get a premium? Well, Dacos is a premium, so that's not too bad. Clary, I don't mind having a bit of a dip on, considering just his matchups, if you want to take the risk. Calculate a risk, though, but because he knows that you're going to be, you know that he's going to bounce back at some stage because he's just an absolute gun historically. And McCurcher could make you a bit more coin and give you a bit of nice scoring on field in the meantime. But yeah, if you have a chance to get an actual premium compared to McCurcher, I'd look at that as well. Geez, these comments keep coming. So I'll see how we go. Because I'm about probably 20 minutes behind where these comments are at. So let's just do a rapid fire, okay? I'm watching Clary for another week. I have Stewart, and worth noting he's playing at GMHBA this week. And if that sways one way or another between Clary and Stewart, yep, exactly. Big, Marby, or Child. Would Powell or Roberts be a higher scorer to keep for the next few weeks? I'd keep Roberts ahead of Powell if you are choosing between both of those. Skits Fits, time to drink the pig juice, aka Ding Ding 69, like that. And you're talking about Oliver Indeed. Skits Fits, good to see you joining us, mate. This is rapid fire, of course. My injury list on draft is starting to look like yours, sir. Some might think we're tanking soon. Yeah, I know. Injury list is looking absolutely shitful. And of course, as I've already spoken about, my draft team is cursed. Another player going down, Jordan Sweet. I'll bring up my team in a moment, and we'll go, of course, through the league, open league rankings as well whilst we're there. Let's have a quick squeeze. Go to draft. And Keeper League, this is my team. So it was looking worse for wear. Of these guys I've got on my team, Bowes was out injured. Who else was there? Young. He didn't miss any games, thankfully, but did injure himself. I've had Guthrie out, obviously. Perkins was out. Sweet could be out. I've had Soldo being out. Finlayson for being a dickhead out. Taylor Adams out. Thilthorpe out. Who else is there? Binns just wasn't getting games. McAuliffe rolled an ankle. Mills out. Crouch out. Doherty did his knee. Smith was out the other week. McGovern's been out. So just absolutely cursed. So if you want me to curse any players, let me know and I'll bring him into my draft team. But yeah, fair point there by you, Adam. Jonas, people might want to trade Robertson Powell before Yo so they don't lose money with their bus break-evens over 100. I'd still prefer to get rid of Yo. He's going to be out for 2+ weeks, if not longer, which I am banking on. And healthy players are even better. And I think Roberts has shown that he has that scoring in his game where he can score 80+ and then actually help you on field. Powell, less so just with regards to his role in North Melbourne's team, losing CBAs. Rookie Coach AFL, thanks, mate. Great food for thought. Good luck this week. Likewise to you, Rookie. Ange, keep an eye out for Jack Hayes next week too. Very, very good point there by you, Ange. Fred, who would you get rid of out of Roberts and Powell? Sort of overlapping questions here as we just spoke about. I'd get rid of Powell first. Skits Fits, cat out of the box. I think they're talking about White Cat. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're talking about the... See, this is how far behind the comments I am. Yep, exactly. That is my cat, Paddy. He's an absolute gun. Chenka, do I bring in Ryan or Butters this week? I can only afford one. I'd be going for Ryan, which is the conundrum that I'm in, actually. I was planning initially to get Butters in this week, wait for Ryan the next week, because I was anticipating that he was going to drop in price, which never happened, of course, because he scored that 197. So I've flipped it. Now going for Ryan ahead of Butters and getting Butters next week. So follow my lead, Chenka, and yeah, grab Ryan this week, Butters next. Bugger the subs. That's 100%. Yeah, that's probably what we should be saying. Hi, Damo. Go. No, we're always appreciative of people subscribing. Hi, Damo. Go Blues. Yes, go the Baggers. I'm bringing in El Ryan, Oliver, and Parrish this week. I think Parrish is worth the risk given Yo, Heaney, and Zorko have all done enough to be worthy picks this season. Yeah, good theory. Good theory. Best of luck to you, Bugger the subs. Chenka. Or do I... Okay, sorry. It's off the back of this question here. Ryan or Butters, or should I go for Hayden Young instead of Ryan? No, go for Ryan. Reach for the top shelf, always. And it always goes down smoother. Matt Fink, would you get rid of Tom Green or Rosie? Nope, keep Tom Green. Mightn't even miss any weeks. Could play this week. Rosie's going to be out for a little while, I think, considering Port stuffed themselves up there with Rosie. Vinny, thanks, champ. Love your content and guidance. Thank you, mate. Really do appreciate your kind words and your viewership as well. So thank you. Chenka, I got rid of Rosie. A hammy injury is worse than Green's injury. Yep, 100%. You are on the right track there, Chenka. Matt Fink, would you get in Lockie Neal or Oliver? I would go for Oliver, just based upon value. I like chasing value at this time of the year, of which Oliver is. And if you have surplus trades as well, if Oliver doesn't come off, at least you know he's going to be making a little bit of money, and you can trade him out down the track. Jonas, be lucky for Andy and Handy. Garcia, I like that. Still around during the buys. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I might need to trade them out. Chenka, Yo, Rosie, and Green all out. What the stuff do I do? Did we just address this, mate? I think we did. Keep Green, get rid of Yo, get rid of Rosie. Chenka, does anyone know what's going on? Who's going to get injured this week? Save us the trouble. Yeah, look at my draft team, mate, on the screen there, and you'll probably work out who is next. Who's next? Matt Fink, do you reckon I get on Neil? No, I'd prioritise other guys ahead of Neil. Green out for Oliver. No, I'm not a fan of that, mate. Keep Green. Only going to be out for a week if that. Could play this week, as I said. Punt someone else for Oliver if you do want him. Very good, Jonas. Get your raincoats, fellas. My team is going to be rolling in some pink, sweaty pig slime this week. Yep. Hope so. Fable to bring in Moore and Jones for Powell and Newen. Is now the best time to get more. I expect him to be a top 6 forward, as do I. Fabled, or should I go for an Oliver or another mid with Green likely out? Depends really who is coming on field to cover Green if he is out. That'll probably dictate as to whether or not you go for Oliver instead. Yeah, it's a tough one. I think... you could probably wait on more. Have a look. Go on Twitter. Have a look at Jaden Popowski's tweet that I think it was yesterday, maybe it might have been today. And he was talking about the matchups that Hawthorn have coming up for Dylan Moore specifically, and how he scores. And it's looking like they've got some tough matchups. So you could probably wait on more, and he'll hover around about the same price that he is at the moment. So yeah, Oliver, meanwhile, could be a nice discount to jump on at the moment. So, yep. Best of luck, Fabled, but I can see merit in going either way. Jonas, people have been rewarded for going early on players like Dale and Moore. Doing it now late kills all the value. Yeah, it comes down again to those, whether or not those players are going to be top in their line. I don't think Dale will be. Moore will, though, I reckon. So, yeah, 100% merit. Damo, what's a biggie? Something that gets flushed, never to be seen again. Yeah, didn't have biggie new one, thankfully. Bypassed that, dodged that bullet. Libba out. Yes, Libba is worth getting rid of. Probably should speak for itself. He's out indefinitely, and unfortunately, I'm expecting him to actually be forced to retire. Never good signs for him. He's had so many concussions in recent times, but I think the writing was on the wall when he had 2 head knocks on the weekend, so soon after being out from that concussion that he had 2 weeks prior. Obviously, he had the week off, came back, 2 head knocks in succession in the one game, mind you. So, yeah, not good health before footy, and wishing him all the best of luck. So, I'd be punting Libba at the moment, keeping green, 100%, mate. We've caught up to comments now, it looks like, as well. So, we'll have a bit of time to have some people jump on, open mic session. Chris, Ambrosio, Roberts, Berry out, Ryan, Stewart, and don't add to the comments list, please. I can see what you're doing, Skits. Ambrosio, Roberts, Berry out, Ryan, Stewart, and Jones in. 50k in the bank. Thoughts? Safer than Oliver and Parrish. Can get Oliver. Well, yeah, perfect. If you can get Oliver next week, go down that route, 100%. And yeah, Ryan in. It's a big tick. Stewart in. Great value. And Jones in. I think he's one of the hottest prospects when it comes to rookies and cash cows in recent times. And it may dry up very soon. So, yep, I do like that. Where are we? Cheers for your help, mate. No worries at all. Chenka ended up bringing in Ryan and Jackson. Very good. Josh, it's either I trade out Whitfield, Tom Green, or Harley Reid to get Luke Ryan, or I just can't get him. I'm 1k short of Sam Darcy to Ryan. So annoying. Yeah, that is bloody annoying, mate. Can you do, depending on if you have a boost? I'm guessing you don't, though. Yeah, so I imagine you can't do a 1 down, 1 up. But yeah, would, at a pinch, yeah, probably Harley Reid you might have to get rid of in that case. Whitfield, I don't think he's going to be a top 6 defender, but he's probably more of a keeper than what Harley Reid would be. So, yeah, if you can't get up to Ryan with a 2 down, 1 up, if you have a boost, or at least a 1 down, 1 up, yeah, you might need to explore that option, mate. Libba, Robertson, 5 for Ryan, Oliver, and Jones. Looks good. Like that, mate. Skits Fits, just type in, add 1 more comment to the list. Carry on. Smart ass. Chenka for Rosie and Yo. Hopefully Butters next week. Yep, Jonas. Yep, 100%. I said the exact same thing, Jonas, with regards to Libba. Looked like he was just accruing concussions, and it's not good when you have them in succession, as we saw with Paddy McCartan in recent seasons. Yes, very good, Skitsy. Adam, Jonno, get on there, sir. He's still around. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm waiting. Here we go. You're being very patient, Jonno. Cooper Gretsch in your stream room on Discord if you want. What are you talking about there, Scoops? Are you talking about... Oh, you're in the stream room. Oh, you're in the stream room for... Sorry, let me bring it up on screen, and I'll show people what you're talking about. So, where are we? So, if you have a look here, down the bottom here, let me just scroll down in the Discord. And you can see there, just above the comment of what Cooper's saying there, there's a stream room on the left-hand side. You're in there. So, you can. That's the other... I guess bonus is joining our Discord. You can jump in there and yeah, you can have a bit of a chat with myself, other people, all that sort of stuff. But Scoops, stay in the YouTube here, mate, because we'll have you on next if you're keen to jump on, mate. So jump out of that stream room and jump on here, mate, and we'll queue you up after Jonno. Josh, you've said no boost the pain. Yeah, so shit. That is pretty hard then, mate. Jonas, good stream last night. Damo Stevo, drunk Willie Smith is the best name in the SuperCoach. DW Smith, yeah, very good. Yeah, not the steam room, the stream room. Cooper Gretsch, yep. So we'll queue you up after Jonno because he's been patiently waiting and he's been requesting this as well. So if anyone else wants to jump on after Jonno, after Scoops, let us know and we'll queue you up. In fact, what we'll do is we're going to grab the StreamYard link, whack it in the comments section here on YouTube, and all you need to do is click on that. It'll prompt you, a second window will open up, and you'll be in the green room here. So let's have a quick squeeze at, good reminder as well, Jonas, to go through the leagues. I'll go through the public league first of all. Where are we? Go back to Classic, and we'll go to Leagues. And we will stop the screen, present, share screen again. I don't know why it does this way. You just can't flip across. But anyway, here it is. So these are the two cash leagues. We'll get into those in a moment. Actually, we'll do it now. First things first. The ladder. This obviously concerns the 20 people in the league. But on top of the ladder in the first cash league, winner, of course, will be winning the 1K top prize. If I end up winning it, we'll find a way to reward everyone in the league as we did last year with last year's cash league. So if I win, everyone wins. So if you're not in the running, you should be barracking for me. But as you can see there, Sloppy Joe Lane, Pipe, Ben, second up. We have Toddy FC in third spot, Timmy's Blues in fourth, Slim's Garrison, good old Slim, in fifth, Hot Pie sixth, Unique Individual seventh, I Can Hardly Read, great team name, in eighth. And the rest, as you can see here, are those teams outside the 8. Hotly contested as well. So love to see that. A couple of regulars in Jonno, Adam, Kyle, and as you can see there, Liam. Just manning the fort down the end there. And then in the Cash League 2, we have even more hotly contested. Big Bad Brisbane Bear, Evan. He swallowed his first loss the other week. He's still in first place. Zorilica. Zoricilla? I don't know how to pronounce that, but in second spot, Tyrell's Hacks in third. I'm in fourth spot. I'm the captain now. Jake in fifth spot. Very good team name, mate. Small Victories, Matthew in sixth. Butterbeing FC in seventh. And Black Flag, John in eighth. And then we have a few others there, as you can see, rounding us out in from 9th to 20th. And Liam as well. Unfortunately, he's just a mercy rule at the moment. But that is that with the two cash leagues. But let's have a quick look at the overall open league, which we are league ranking of 8th. I don't know how that works because you can't really see the league ranks for open leagues. But anyway, by the by, as you can see here, we have the number 1 ranked player in SuperCoach overall in our open league. Obviously, first overall, first in our open league. So down ever, Joe. Let us know who you are, mate. If you are tuning in at the moment, let us know in the comment section because we'd love to have a bit of a chat to you if you are keen. Chev's Titans, Zorko, Zorro's, Cyrilisa, I can't even say his name. Again, there he is, who was in the Cash League. Alex's Angels, Skits Fits, who is on our live at the moment in 6th spot and overall, mind you, in 97th spot. So having an absolute blinder of a season. Mighty Pies in 7th, G-Man in 8th, Beat Around the Bush in 9th, and Dragonflies in 10th spot. And those are the cash leagues and open leagues. So best of luck to those people that are in it. And let me see if we can invite people here. Because I noticed that we've got 810 people. But someone mentioned that they were trying to get in and it wasn't working. So let us know if this link works for those people that are not in the open league. Just click on that link. It should prompt you to join the open league. So where are we? That is that. Let's go back to the comment section. Cooper Gretsch says, sounds good. I think we've got a few people in the back end here. Scoops, jump into the back end, mate. I saw you there a second ago. So have a bit of a yarn. We'll put a 5-minute timer as well. And yes, sorry, there's a comment coming through here for Bo Brown. What's the point of the StreamYard? StreamYard, the link there is to, if you want to jump on and have a bit of a chat with us, Bo, which I can see you in the back end there. So if you wanted to have a chat, person to person, mano e mano, let us know, mate. You don't have to. So yeah, if you're not keen, just jump out. All good, mate. No obligations. Otherwise, Slim, are you in? Let us know, mate. We've only just begun. Chenka says no. I don't know in regards to. Too injury prone. I don't know what is happening there. Have I missed a comment? I don't know. Not sure if I should. Only out for 1 to 2 weeks, but injury prone. Yeah, I'd flick him, mate. Flick him 100%. Especially if it allows you to get in a big dog. Is a Libra trade worth for my last boost? Yes, I would be doing that again. If it allows you to get in a big dog, Ryan, Zero, Sarong, Bont, all those guys, I'd be doing it. So let's do it now. Let's jump across to our first guest, and we have Jonno, of course. Scoops, you've said in the back end, silly thing dropped out. All good, mate. Let's open up the mic, bring him in. It is Jonno. Welcome, mate. Good to see you on the stream.
How are we all?
Good, mate. Going well. How you been?
Not too bad, Damo. And yourself?
Yeah, good. Going well. A bit of an impromptu live stream, just because won't be able to do it tomorrow, and have to keep giving what we're giving to the good people of the SuperCoach Edge community. So good to see you jumping on and supporting us as always, mate. How's the team tracking?
Well, team's tracking reasonably well after a better week than the last few weeks prior to that. So scored a 22-10 just the week just gone, and brought in 2 big boys of Hayden Young and Dylan Moore last week. So very happy with those 2
nice
trades.
Good timing on Dylan Moore as well. You got him at a little bit of a discount, so do like that. Good call.
One-eyed supporter though this week because taking on my boys, so he'll be put to the background and hopefully still scores well. But I want my boys to win.
Of course, absolutely. First and foremost, always got to support your team. And what trades are you looking at making this week? I know you've slid into my DMs and you're asking a few things, but for the people tuning in, what do you think you're doing at this stage?
So the trades I'm looking to do, guys, is Williams, obviously not playing, Roberts and Liver out, and then Luke Ryan, big sweaty pink, Piggy Oliver, and Darcy Jones.
Oh, yes. Geez, those are great. Those are great trades. I endorse them with a big green tick, Jonno. So, geez, you're going well, and I've seen your team, and you're looking pretty solid as well. I know you asked me the question, do I rate your team? I rate it. I rate it quite well, and I rate those moves. So, it only improves your team exponentially, really, off the back of that. So, past couple of weeks, sounds like you've made some really good trades, and you're on the way up. Where'd you say you ranked at the moment? Are you moving upwards?
Currently, I'll get it up on the phone here.
It's hard to say because from week to week it can fluctuate, but as long as you're going up overall, that's the main thing.
28,132, but I started sketchy, but then went into 11K, but then I've dropped ever since, probably since Gather Round, but then I've dropped prestigiously after that. So I went up nearly 10K this last week, just gone.
Oh, geez, there you go. You're making ground. And that's all that really matters is like recent weeks. And it kind of happens with me, like you might have heard in the Team Talk episode I was chatting about 3 weeks ago. I was in a good position, ran about 2,500. Then I dropped, and that was off the back of having to bench Stewart, which obviously meant I had one less primo compared to other people. So I was fully expecting to drop that week. That happened. Then the next week I kind of plateaued a bit, and I was around about 400 ranks that I dropped. Wasn't as good as other teams, and then obviously this week went up a fair bit, and it was looking like it was going to be a good week until bloody Lukey Ryan, the Seagull, that he smashed it, and it meant that
Leave me the chips. Richmond, leave me the chips.
Yeah, just the absolute chips against that mob as well. Looks as though they're conceding quite a few points to opposition defenders. So probably my fault. I should have looked into a little bit harder in terms of matchups, but I was trying to be smart and very, very frugal. And I thought, I'll wait for Ryan and go for Butters next week. And looked all right with Butters because he didn't reach his break even. Meant that he was going to, in all likelihood, drop some more cash in round 9. But yeah, Ryan, gee whiz, you can't really do too much about that, can you? 197, one of the
No.
biggest scores we've seen in recent times.
Yeah, yeah. And then probably the only best limelight of my year so far is when a boy from my own club and this captain scored his 143 against Richmond as well. And I had him captain that round, and I was there that day. So that made me
Oh,
happy. But
geez,
I just can't. I
doubly
haven't
happy.
been able to enable a captain at all this year until this last week just gone because I had Sarong captain. So that's one
Oh,
of my
yep.
downfalls at the moment this year. I just can't nail a captain, but I think with the team starting to come as it is, should be more green arrows for more weeks to come.
That's good. That's the main thing. That's all you want. And yeah, you're totally right. Like it comes down to captaincy picks and players having spike weeks that you don't own. And Ryan's a classic example of that. Which, if Ryan didn't have a big game, he would have probably helped me, have a bit more of a higher rank. But it meant that I went back into the pack and it was only just above par, and everyone else was lifted up. So you've got to kind of like I made a tweet about it that if you had a down week, always try and contextualize it with, in terms of what players that you don't have. And, if it's one or two players that have had really, really big weeks that you don't own, don't be too put off or, I guess down about it because it swings and roundabouts every single week. We know with SuperCoach, and it happens, and you'll have your week, and other weeks you'll have a down one. So as long as the overall season is you're going up the ranks, that's the main thing. So we've got a couple of comments here as well directed at you as well. Jonno, we'll direct your way. First is, of course, by Jonas, the absolute pest, we'll call him. He says, Jonno, how's fake Primo Rowan Marshmallow travelling?
Well, he's not a fake primo because my team name, funnily enough, is called Rowan the Boat FC. So you got to get a bit around the
Yes.
Rowan. So he's got to keep paddling up a steep, heavy climb, but he'll be getting there. He'll be a top three run by the end of the year. So I'm happy with that.
That's the main thing. Have you still got him in your team? You've stuck fat?
I've stuck fat. A lot of people traded him out last week. I'm like, thank you. You can piss him off, and I'll keep riding along the cruise ship because he'll be a nice, easy pick.
Oh, very nice. So you're not actually rowing the boat. You're just it's a what is it? Not a steam paddle. It's a cruise liner.
Nice paddle steam. Just a nice.
It's a paddle steamer going down the river. Going down the Mississippi.
Going down the Murray River now. If you want to join on.
Very good, very good. Well, hopefully it doesn't conk out, and you have to get the old rowing out. That might be a genuine paddle.
When he kicked that goal against Richmond in gather round, I was tempted to get the Saints cheer squad because that's where I was sitting. I was tempted to get them the chant going, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. But no, I'll leave that to the cheer squad. They can figure that one out one day.
Yeah. Do they have any chance nowadays? Because I haven't sat near the cheer squad in quite a while.
Not. I only sort of the basic ones like St Kilda, and then
yeah,
1,
Every
2,
club's got
3,
that.
Saners, but
yeah.
there wasn't really.
They need to mix it up. I mean, the only difference they've got, like, I really love how, like, in the soccer, which is traditionally called football, of course, before people jump down my throat, but like one thing I love about that is the fan atmosphere. I reckon is unrivaled. Incredible. And it's to do with, like, obviously chants and stuff as well. I've been to quite a few A-League games, and that's the one thing I love about it. Even if the game is like a 0-0 draw, the atmosphere is really, really good. It's like a party atmosphere, aside from all the flares and stuff. But that's one thing I wish that AFL fan bases were able to do a bit more. Even like I was in the US in October, and I'm very lucky enough to be going across again to New York the end of this month actually for work. But I've been to ice hockey games, I've been to NFL games, and the chants and stuff, top notch, really good. So we need to up our game, not just like Carlton or St Kilda or Collingwood, which is annoying as all shit. Sounds like a mosquito.
Very much.
Hate it. Fan bases, get your shit together.
Yeah, I know St Kilda does have a fan base called Isle 29, so shout out to those boys. But they have Jakey, who does Saints TV. He's one of his mates is the head honcho for Isle 29, so he's got all these Saints hymns with songs to certain players, so they do a good job.
Oh, that's good. I have seen actually, I think it was on TikTok they had, I think it was St Kilda, they had a couple of songs for St Kilda players, which is really good. I thought it was quite creative, and I thought, it's going to catch on, but I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if they're not doing it loud enough, if they need a megaphone or.
Yeah, I know you don't like the Collingwood theme song, Collingwood chant. So that instead of Collingwood, they've got Mason Wood.
Oh yes, yep, the same sort
Mason
of,
Wood. Yeah,
the same
sort of
thing,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a classic. Well, very good. Well, I think we've got a few more comments here as well before we let you go, because I don't want to keep Coops any longer. We might do a little bit of a crossover. Have you conversed with Coops before, seeing as though he's a Saints
No,
man?
no.
We might get him on with whilst you're on as well, considering you're both Saints men, and it'll end up being a bloody Saints podcast here.
Yeah.
But Adam has said more to kick your Saints ass this week, Jonno, because he's got him.
That's right. I'll be happy with both worlds. If he goes all right, then the Saints win. But if he goes well and Hawthorn win and the rest of my Saints players perform, that's okay. I'm happy man.
Exactly right. Yeah, happy medium. Jonas, cracking open an icy cold can of rookie juice. Indeed, it could be clary juice for me, perhaps next week. I'm very tempted if he goes well this week, which I'm actually expecting him to do. I might bring in clary next week just because of the romanticism, and I love having him in my team, the absolute pink sweaty pig that he is, and be downing some pig juice. Crack open a can of pig juice. Chenka says he's ranked 2070 overall. Well done to you, mate. You're going very, very well. Jonas, again, Marshmallow got spanked by Sweet Jordan, but Sweet Jordan may be out this week as well to just be a little bit sweet and sour. Jonas Goat, Jono's leaky boat going to sink real soon with Marshmallow weighing it down. Adam says, do Saints still do that knock knock, who's there, Owen who, when the Saints go marching in by that chick with the bloody foghorn leghorn megaphone voice? I don't know her name, but I've seen her on TikTok.
I know back at home, because I used to play footy for my Saints back here. I know we still do it local footy wise, but we don't do it in the AFL. But I think they still might do it in the chant, if I remember rightly. They started to do it with about a minute and a half to go. I'm like, only up by 9 points, so I think we're on the side of caution and not start it, and then they had a score review within the last 10 seconds, and they're like, no more song until the actual game is actually done.
Yeah. Geez, that's scary as well. Like, I hate it when Carlton as well, like, some people start singing the theme song, and I'm like, unless we're up by like 3 goals with like 30 seconds to go, even then, I'm just like, just wait until the siren goes. Like, we've been burnt enough to really know better. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Some fans just go the early crow and they think, oh, I'm just immune, but no, it's scary stuff still. Jonas, to round us out, and we'll get Scoops on next. Western Bulldogs ripped off Aussie with doggy, woof, woof, woof. I actually like that. Bevo, have you Bev? Have you come across him on socials? You might have seen some of his stuff. Big Doggies fan. He's kind of if you search for him on TikTok, you'll see some of the work that he does. He like commentates games, so he's like a Bruce McAvaney wannabe. Really good-willed, but he cops a lot of shit. But yeah, he's quite funny. Always upbeat, very positive type character. Yeah, let us know if anyone in the comments section have seen his stuff. But yeah, he always comes out with a doggies, woof, woof, woof. Yeah, quite funny. Well, Scoops, let's bring him in for a quick crossover. And anyone else, if they want to jump on, we might clock off maybe in about 10-15 minutes. So if you want to jump on as well, let us know and we'll queue you up in the green room here. But Scoops, how are you? Is that you? Is this the real Cooper Gretsch? Will the real Cooper Gretsch, will he stand up? Is it you?
Yes, Damo, it is. The Tribal Chief is here. Hey, Jonno.
Scoops.
Oh, you're a funny man, Scoops. Funny man. Now, both fellow Saints men, we don't want to make this a full Saints podcast, but how do you think you guys are travelling? Are you happy with what Ross the boss is doing with your mob?
Well, yeah, mixed results. It's 2-on-1 Damo for Carlton and for Saints, but yeah, think all that. Yeah, look, not a great start at all. I mean, I don't like to be ones that have honourable losses, but when you look at the stats and the margins of the amount of people we've had out, obviously you got, I think it's 4 games under 10 points or less in losses. Obviously GWS and Geelong and Port, so 3 relevant teams, and the 4th one, whatever, against Essendon. But close losses there, and then before the injuries, you factor in Crouch and suspensions with Higgins and King, in and out. A lot of people don't seem to mention that when we lose, when they look at the injury. Everyone says everyone has injuries. Yeah, they do. But when you look at who we've had out, and 95% of those injured guys are in our best 22, and you're playing fringe players that shouldn't be anywhere near playing or that are out of form. But you can't take them out because there is no one, because they're all injured.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%, Scoops. We're starting to see that our best available start to come back. Like, we'll see Liam Henry back this week, so looking forward to see him fly up and down the wing down in Tassie. So
that's right. And
danger signs last here, but I think he stays in the side.
Yeah, he does. And you still obviously got Crouch will come back, Higgins will come back from that ridiculous suspension, Butler, and Clark obviously re-injured himself in the VFL on the weekend and will play this week. You should. So yeah, there's some of the guys that come back. So that's what I mean. There's still people to come back. But obviously, Damo, yes, it's not ideal being 3 and 5, but should counter for Hawthorn. Then you go into Freo the week after 50-50, so it could be 5 and 5, just like that, and then have those guys come back that week or the week after the Freo game.
Yeah, exactly right. It comes down to fixturing and stuff, and Carlton's been pretty fortunate with the couple of easy games as well and whatnot. So yeah, it kind of skews things, and it's maybe not until mid-year where things start to even out. But even then, the fixture kind of isn't as even as what it should be. So it doesn't tell the full story. But I think the Saints are going as well as they can. But just a SuperCoach question for both of you boys, being Saintsmen, do you think Hugo is going to be given more of a Hugo? That being Hugo Garcia. Do you think he can stay in the team for the Saints?
Yeah, Jonno?
I'd say yes. Yeah. Ross loves playing kids, and while we don't have Higgins in the side, we need that tackling pressure in our forward 50. He laid 7 tackles last week.
Yeah.
Second most for us last week, or equal second most. So I think while Higgins and Butler aren't in the side, we need that forward pressure. So, and he won't dominate the VFL and want to stamp his case again. So,
yeah, I was going to say exactly the same thing. Higgins and Butler, while they're both out, I won't say definitely, but realistically, he should stay in while Higo and Butler are out. What did you think about the Higo thing, Damo?
What's that? Sorry, mate?
The Higgins suspension thing for the Alir one.
I thought he was pretty unlucky. I thought, considering other players were getting outed for similar things, I thought probably get maybe a week at most. But what did he end up with in the end? Was it 3?
3. It was 3. Apparently,
I thought that was a bit rough.
Yeah, apparently Hogan and other players can punch people in the face or the stomach and get away with it, but you can't take. I know it was a bit dangerous, but like you said, 1 was okay, but not 3, ridiculous. But anyway, I already ranted about that 7 times.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was one of those things that it kind of was exacerbated by Aaliyah trying to kick the ball. So he was throwing his leg around. So the momentum, the physics of it, of course, he was virtually parallel to the ground. So Higgins was trying to do just a normal tackle, but with that momentum meant it was a slinging action. So it wasn't really just Higgins' fault, I don't think. So probably, as I said, probably should have. I was expecting 1. When I saw 3, I thought that's just ridiculous. It was probably no surprise they tried to challenge or whatnot. But yeah, it's one of those things. The AFL's going down that path. But yeah, as you mentioned, and rightly so as well, actions that aren't being stamped out, which they said at the start of the year they were going to stamp out, with these non-football acts, with jabs to people's stomachs and punches and all that sort of stuff. They're just not doing anything about it. And I know, with Hogan against my mob, I thought he was very lucky. I kind of agreed with it because he didn't really connect. But I think, that the action of still doing that though, I think he still deserved a week. And then with what's his name for Collingwood? What's his name? Ex-Freo.
Oh, Lockie Schultz. Yeah.
Schultz. Yeah. That was even worse. With the player with his back turned, this reminded me so much of the king hits that can kill people. That in itself is a very, very bad look. And I know it probably wasn't great contact. But again, that just sets a really bad example for lower junior levels of footy, and was ridiculous. Should have received more than 1 week. So he was apologetic as well, Schultz, and rightly so. But it's just not a very good look, and the AFL just aren't doing enough about it.
I agree. I don't like how, like I said, with those two incidents, they talk about stepping out. Laura Kane has been a bit hypocritical when they say, which was after one of those ridiculous suspensions that they didn't give, and they said that they don't have one set of rules for one and a different set of rules for one and not the other. The rules are completely different. It's clearly who you are and what team you play for. That's why Lockie Short's got 1 week, because Michael Christian, the MRO guy, who's he go for? Or it's Collingwood. So, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Jonno, what were you going to say something there? Sorry about the incidents.
That's right. I was going to say that whether it's true or not, Higgins said in his findings that all the Port boys thought it was a good tackle too.
They did. They did. He said that.
So
Yeah,
that one out.
Apparently, he's not a good bloke. Not a good bloke, apparently. Because apparently that's what Charlie.
He loves having.
Who's that? Sorry, they're referring to Higgins.
Yeah, so Charlie Cameron got off because apparently he was a good bloke to the Jake Lever tackle.
Gotcha.
Then Tom Barras the week after, and they said, nah, not good enough. He's never been suspended in his life before that, Tom Barras. Or if he had, like one. And so he tried that. It didn't work either. They've never been suspended either.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Like, I know that they try and they don't. You're not able to use like past, I guess, cases as like precedent. Or at least that's what they try and say. But the fact that you're able to have someone come in as like a character witness, like we're talking like legal terms, is ridiculous. If you can have that, you should be able to have back like, you know, someone that's been suspended for the same act, like a Pickett, for example, got reported last year for catapulting into Bailey Smith, he should have got like at least 3+ weeks for that. Only got the 1 or 2 at most. And then he did it again, similar sort of act to Paddy Cripps. And I know Cripps came back on the field. He gave him like a blood nose or whatever it was. Even then, it should be the act. And they're still going the AFL by the fact that, oh, well, if a player's not injured, we will, you know, bring the penalty down a bit, which is just ridiculous. So, yeah, there's so many holes that the common AFL fan can see. Yet when someone's brought into the AFL administration like Laura Kane or whoever it is, and they just turn to water. It's so strange. It's such a frustrating thing, and just a lot of empty promises, empty words, and they don't live up to it. It's classic AFL, really.
It always has been like that, and I don't think that'll ever change.
Well, Jonas, he says Sinclair is a gun. One of the few players I like watching for the Saints, and also the mower Mitch Owens. The mower, love that. Classic.
I haven't nickname before, but I do like Jack Sinclair. Obviously, he won my Scoops medal last year.
Who's that? Who sinks?
He did, yeah. As expected, a lot of people were very triggered, but oh well, I don't care.
As in, like overall, like is it like the equivalent of your Brownlow medal?
Yes, overall. Damo, yep.
How did that happen? That sounds like a bit of Michael Christian Collingwood action. That one.
Oh, yeah. Well, if the AFL can do it, well, I might as well too.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Jonas also says, rugby him out. He ain't a good bloke who has been fined several times for the same thing and enjoys powder in the off season. Oh God, yeah. And then you see like poor Toby Green gets the Toby tax and everything, and they just whack a couple of extra weeks on top of him. And like supposedly they don't take precedent into account. Well, it's obvious they do, because he's been rubbed out so many times now that if someone else does an equivalent act, Toby gets more. It's just the weight of it. It's pretty shit. But there's a couple more questions that come through. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Scoops, whilst I bring them up.
Sorry, I was going to say, you know, we were just talking about, like, you know, the background, you know, about past incidents, it shouldn't matter. If Charlie Cameron got off for being a good bloke, then logically speaking, and now I know it's a big example difference, but Andrew Gaff, when he punched Andrew Brayshaw, he never been suspended in his life before. That's so should he get off because he's a good bloke too? But he punched him in the face. Going off.
Spot on.
Yeah. I know it was a different time. Well, it wasn't that long ago, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Well, Sam asked a question as well. Sorry, Sam, I missed your question. It says, who to trade in this week? Merritt, Rowell, Anderson, Stewart, Dunkley, Young. Can't decide between paying up and getting value. I think if you got all those guys, personally, I'd strike Anderson off that list. I don't think he's going to be a top 8 mid. I like Young. Dunkley's 50-50. Don't know if he's going to be a top 8 mid. Stewart, I like for value's sake. Rowell, I think, is going to be a top 8 mid still, and Merritt is probably top echelon of all those guys. So if you have the chance, I would prefer to go for Merritt, considering he faces North Melbourne and Richmond coming up after this week. Boys, what are your thoughts?
Go on, Sam. I'll go second. Jonno, I mean.
Jeez.
It comes down to obviously structure and stuff as well, because we don't see their team, so it's hard to say definitively. But
I'd probably say merit as well. Side.
If you again, so Tom Shaw's actually dropped off a little bit for his price, probably. So I probably wouldn't, as of right now, get him for his SuperCoach scores. Hayden Young can be one of those guys that probably doesn't really get any 130, so he might get the rare one, but not consistently. Noah Anderson, Rao doesn't get enough disposals. If Rao was to get 25 plus every week, I think he could be a lock because of the consistent possessions and consistency he always gets. And that's why I got him in last year when I think everyone jumped on board when he was having those 4 games in a row of late 20 disposals and all them clearances and tackles and that. But I wouldn't touch him either. Probably merit from that list. And then Noah Anderson probably second and the rest whatever.
Yep. Yeah, Rail's not too bad because, if you can afford to wait, I would wait for him because he's probably going to be sub 600k over the next week or two. But mind you, he faces North Melbourne, so he could come out and absolutely smash his break even and only drop another 10, 15k. So, not too bad. Sorry, we've just had Skits as well.
No, it's not the worst. I had him at the start of the year and I took him out when he decided to shit the bed and then he decided to get 2 plus 100 scores, so I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, no, he's a good option. I reckon he's going to be a top 6 defender. So, if you wanted to save some cash and then, use the excess cash, difference between going for Young compared to Merit to then upgrade next week, I wouldn't mind that either. So, yeah, that's a good call. Just wanted to say as well, so Skits, if you're still watching us, mate, you were in the back end, in the green room, and you've dropped out. So make sure to jump back in because I'll patch you in, mate, and you can join us here on stream. We also there was another question here. Mad Dog Maz, should I get Sarong, Merritt, Sinclair, or Oliver? Of those, I would probably aim for a Sarong, Merritt. I know you love your Sinclair scoops, and probably yourself as well, Jonno, and Oliver. But again, hard to say, if you have any coin left over to get another big dog next week, if you go for, say, an Oliver or Sinclair. But if I was to rate it, I think Sarong and Merritt are going to be top 4 keepers in the midfield. So I'd prioritise those first. And I don't think they're going to be much value or much more value compared to what they currently are. I'd probably rate them with Merritt, Sarong, Oliver, and then Sinclair. I think Oliver's pretty good value for what he presents at the moment. But if you can wait and get Oliver next week, do that.
I agree.
Thoughts?
Sorry. Yeah, I agree with that. Despite Sinks being my guy to a degree, that's right. I actually had Sinclair, funnily enough, during the week last week, and then I saw Bailey Dale's break even, and I thought of it this way: it was like 450 the week prior. Sinks was like 510. I'm like, okay, Dale's got a minus 50 break even. If he scores 60 odd, he's going up 50, 60k. I'm like, well, he's going to be Sinclair's price in 1 week. So I just got Dale. So I really got a free 60k, and now he's going to go up again this week, Dale, a little bit. So that's why I took Dale. It was hard for me to convince myself not to put Sinclair in, but that minus break even is. Yeah.
Didn't ask as well, Scoops. Before we bid you both farewell as well, and we get Skits fits on for a bit of a yarn. How are you tracking at the moment? Because I know you won a weekly last year, or was it the year before? I know they all blended to one. Was it last year?
Well, it was actually the week after you got me on originally with Lee. It was round 5 of 2022.
2022. Very nice. Did they end up paying you out? Did they give you the 1K or the 2K if you're a subscriber?
Yeah, you got the good old 2K. Yep. Thank you. I still like bringing that up to people these days from time to time. But your top 37%, as I said earlier in the chat before, not good at all. That's terrible. I blame all these stupid top 18 rubbish buys, teams picking and choosing. See, I actually strategically planned out the buys. Like I wasn't having many players out, but it was when those premiums were out, it was like premiums every week were almost going in those buys, and that annoyed me. So
yeah. makes it a bit hard. So what's your current rank, Scoops? Are you going all right, or
Yeah,
you still plugging away?
top 37%. I'll get it up in front of me. It is 64,859. So no comment, but top 37%, as I said. So yeah, pretty
Oh,
crap.
that's all right.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're not alone. A lot of people are having slow starts, like as Jonno said. But as long as you're starting to make ground, that's the main thing. So, yeah, it's a hard season, and some people have been hit by more bullets, as we say, as is the saying, compared to others. So I've been pretty fortunate, knock on wood. But yeah, it always comes around, swings and roundabouts. So yeah, one of those things. Jonas, you've said, how come you left the slogan "Dinner for two" off the SuperCoach Edge hat? Yeah, I probably should put it on the side there. Maybe for the next iteration for version 2. This was just a one-off job, which of course you've got your own, Jonas. And I'm disappointed to see in the it was when we were streaming our weekly episode, and you were saying you're going to burn the hat. How could you? That is sacrilegious. That's like burning the Aussie flag or the Carlton flag, because I know you're a fellow bagger. But yes, no, it's maybe the next iteration we'll do it. Adam, Damo, could you play Zach Reed and Sweet with no emergencies? Zach Reed with no emergencies on this week? Oh yes, of course. Sorry, he's talking about he's talking about our matchup, because we're facing each other in the league matchup. So yeah, I might do that for you, Adam. But you probably beat me anyway if I'm gobbling a donut from Sweet. Which here is a bit of a segue. Daniel Morris, thanks for joining us, mate. Says, not sure if anyone's already asked, but what are you doing if Sweet doesn't play and Naismith doesn't get named? I'm gobbling a donut, really. I've had a look at the different variations. If there is a possibility for me trading out Naismith, bringing in Livingston, and then switching Jackson into my R2 position. But it virtually leaves me with like no money in the bank, and that scuttles like all my trade plans. I wouldn't be able to get Butters next week. I'd have to make like 2 downgrades to then get another upgrade. It's just not worth it. So in that case, gobbling a donut, and then hopefully I can nail the captaincy pick. And I'll look at it in terms of if I can get a captaincy pick that is pretty high and scores above what they're projected to average, plus I get another player or another few players that can score above their average or above their projections, I'll look at that in terms of collectively making up a score for Sweet, just to keep myself sane. But yeah, I'll just gobble the donut, I think. Are you boys in that position where you have Sweet at R2? Or you've got Marshall, don't you, Jonno? Or do you have Sweet at R2, Marshall R1?
Yeah, I've got Marshall. But then I've got Jackson in the forward line. So if Sweet doesn't get up, I will swing Jackson into my rucks, and then bring likely Wilson to F6 or F5 via Garcia, and have Jai Clark emergency on Friday.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, I don't have Jordan Sweet. I have Rowe and Rhodes, Brody Grundy, that is, and obviously Livingston's my forward ruck bench. I don't have any of that forward ruck type situation. No Jackson. No, nothing. But yeah, I might have avoided the Jordan Sweet cycle, maybe. That's the one I was saying earlier, Damo, that I was half regretting. That's why I did the McCurcher one this week. So I'm like, Sweet, I missed that money last time, and I'm half regretting it. But now if he doesn't play this week, and then Soldo's a week or two after that, so interesting.
Yeah, exactly right. And like I was saying, like swings and roundabouts, like it changes so quickly, doesn't it? So it might have gone from a non-move by you that might have hurt you, but with Sweet being out, it might benefit you. So yeah, very, very good. Now, boys, I might bid you farewell because Skits has been patiently waiting in the back end. Yeah, we'll thank you for jumping on. And again, Jonno, hopefully this satisfies or quenches the thirst of wanting to have a bit of a yarn together, mate. So thanks again for your support in the Discord. Really, really awesome to have you on. And likewise as well, Scoops, you're an absolute legend. Scoops, give yourself a plug.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Jonno.
AFL information, trade rumors and results on YouTube. It's just under 3K. Instagram's AFL Info Live, just under 4K. And Facebook's AFL information, trade rumors and results, just over 55K. So there you go.
Very good. You're doing some great work. So check it out, Jonno. If you're not familiar with Scoops' work as a fellow Saner, you'll love it, mate. Does some really entertaining stuff. So really, really good. So thanks again, boys. Appreciate you jumping on.
Thank
We'll
you.
catch
No
you
worries.
next time, and good luck for the rest of the week, for the roundup head anyway.
We'll do. Yes.
Jonno.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Well, thank you, boys. And Skits, we'll patch you in about a minute. So thanks again for your patience, mate. We've got a couple of questions coming through. I'll just round them out, keep them happy, and we'll have you on for a bit of a chat for 10 minutes or so. Anyone has any questions, feel free to flick them through before we wrap things up. Just rolling back through. Where are we? It is Disco Biscuit. Classic. Do I miss on Ryan to catch up to other teams as I'm low on primos? Yeah, it depends on your team, mate. I can't really say definitively without seeing it, but yeah, if you don't have Ryan, I wouldn't say he's a must-have this week. If you can get him later on down the track, if it allows you to bring in other primos that are better value in order to keep the trade cadence going, where you've got money left in the bank to then bring in another primo the next week and so on and so forth, it might be more beneficial to go down that route. But if you have the money to get Ryan, yes, I do recommend it, because at the current price he's at, he's probably going to be hovering around about that at minimum once he starts to come back down again, because he's going to go up to 700k or thereabouts. Faces St Kilda in a couple of weeks' time, who concede quite a bit of points to opposition defenders. But I'm a little bit worried, in having said that, because Sicily was in that exact same boat last year, and Ross the Boss line pulled a shifty, and it was all systems based, and their forward setup was constructed in a way where they were trying to hit up targets on the lead. They weren't bombing it in long so Sicily could just take some easy intercept marks, and they're kind of, congregating around Sicily if they were kicking in and bombing it long. So yeah, I wouldn't surprise me to see Ross the Boss pull a shifty. He's very much a tactical genius in that regard. But yeah, if you can get Ryan, I do think he is a good get. You've also said getting someone like Young or Martin and that extra cash could help me fix my forwards where I have Flanders F1. Oh, well, in that context, I would be going down that route, mate. 100%. Young and Martin, really, really good picks. Both should be keepers. And yeah, without having a Heaney, does make it awfully hard, because it does mean the forward line is very shallow as it is, and only having Flanders means that I imagine you're having to run bulk rookies, which isn't a good thing. So yeah, I'd be going for Young or Martin if you can. If you have any boosts, try and get those guys in ASAP and boost up your team. Rookie, still going. Love the dedication. Yep, we'll be wrapping up very, very soon, mate. I'll be copying the donut. Also, if Sweet doesn't play, unfortunately. Yep, you shouldn't scuttle your plans just because of 1 week copying a donut. Just keep sort of the bigger picture in mind. Ryan, thoughts on trading in Dunkley or Neil? Got Sarong, Merritt, Bont, Butters, Sam Walsh, and Green. Very good midfield, mate. So what's that? 3, 4, 5. You've got 6 keepers already, and you've got 2 rookie spots, presumably. I would, in your case, I would wait for Raul to drop a bit more in cash and go for him in 1 to 2 weeks personally, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Dunkley or Neil will be top 8. They could be, but yeah, I just think Raul is more of a keeper. Rookie, I'll be doing the same. If Sweet doesn't play, I'll swing Dogger in R2 and field the rookie in forward line. Loki forgot our Jackson to swing. There you go. So you're not going to be gobbling a donut. Gazanfar, Ali, Bont or Ryan? What do you think I should trade in? I would go for Bont in that case, mate. Faces Richmond, who we should just absolutely tear to shreds. Magdog Maz, thoughts on Zorko or Sullivan next week? Yeah, potentially, mate. Yeah, I'd hold out on Sullivan. Just wait and see if he keeps his spot. If to go in, Mitchell comes in next week. Hold your ghost. Heard a rumour Sweet has the old COVID. Yeah, have heard that as well. If that's the case, yeah, probably scratch him out this week. Oliver better for next week instead of Zorko. Yes, I'd go for Oliver next week if Oliver smashes it this week. And last one before we bring in Skits Fits, the great man. Thoughts on bringing McKercher back in? Yeah, spoke about that earlier, mate. I don't think he's a must. I'm not a fan of bringing in these higher priced players, even though McKercher might make 100k thereabouts. I'm a little bit worried with Clarko throwing around the magnets. And we'll bring in Skits Fits now because people are just spamming the old chat, which is good. But of course, we have the great man Skits Fits, has been a long time supporter of us. Great to put a face to the name, mate. You've been an absolute gun to us over the journey, mate. So can't thank you enough for your support. Jumping into the live streams, watching all of our stuff, listening to audio, podcast, everything, mate. You're an absolute gun. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Couldn't miss the opportunity to jump in with your demo finally.
No, exactly right. It's a long time coming because I know
It's
you've been keen to jump on, and we've had a few of the regulars as well through the Discord, like Adam and a few other guys. Slim's probably the next man as well, and Jonas, if he wants to show his face, he might do the old Skodfather and maybe put a mask on or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But no, how are you going, man? How's your season going? You obviously I highlighted it earlier. You're going pretty well, by the looks of it. How is that the case? The moves you've made that you've, I guess, that have helped you catapult you right up there. Fill us in. How are things going?
Yeah. Good season compared to last year. Last year, I reckon last year was like my first proper SuperCoach year where I actually learned how to do loopholes and actually
Oh,
picked players that score points, not just my favorite players, So this is probably my second proper year doing SuperCoach, and I just happy that I went with my gut feel. I went with the players that I kind of trusted.
yep.
I was nearly scared away off a few players, Gorn and there was a few that that I was happy that I stuck to my gun and started with, but I did rage trade Martin straight away. I nearly got rid of Young straight away.
Oh, wow,
I
yeah.
started yeah, started Gorn. I almost didn't start him. Heaney, Jackson, and I think coming up to the buys, one of my strategies was to start a lot of Frio and Port players. So I've got 6
Yep.
or 7 in my team, which is going to help come. I think it's round 14 is the hard one, I think,
Yeah.
from memory. But yeah, an early days, another little strategy that might work this week. I heard whispers that Clay Hall might get a run, but I started him and I was able to miss Bonner's shitty score. I was able to miss so many rookie roulette scores in those first few kind of rounds, which I guess helped me go up the ranks a bit. And I faded Dacos as well. That's another thing.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, yep. So there's some key moves there, of course, which have obviously helped you, as you mentioned. I've just got your team up on screen there, and you're looking pretty in a pretty good spot.
Don't look at Baker.
Yeah, but well, it's I don't know if you
I've done a lot to sabotage this team, though.
oh, it's always the way. Like there's kind of 50-50 moves where you're like, should I go for a player? Should I go for like a player that's a point of difference in order to sort of, give you a bit of a leg up over the rest of the competition? So, I do appreciate the braveness in doing it because Baker, he scuttled Liam and I about 2 seasons ago when Hardwick was using him as a bit of a I guess a Swiss Army knife, and he was playing mid-time, and of course it was the very week that we both got him in, and it was my last trade as well, so extra salt in the wound. And then yeah, he virtually went back to playing the half forward flank role and just killed us. So I'm a little bit burnt there, a little bit weary, but again, new coach looks as though he's running through the midfield, which is good, but I reckon he'll bounce back. I reckon he's a good pick, but yeah, it hurts you, doesn't it, when you get him in? They're very weak, and it's yeah.
Yeah, and the last week's trades, like I was just point chasing. Really, I had Steele, who, I thought I couldn't risk getting another bad score. I traded Steele, Grundy, and Dempsey, and I was going to keep Grundy, but then if Sweet had scored better than Grundy scored last week, which was 83 or something, but I still went. I think my trades that I wanted to do was Rao and Merritt. It just looks so nice. And
Yeah.
then when Green went down, I was like, oh boy, I need to start thinking about next week. So I ended up bringing in Martin this week. And then I was going to lock in Dale, but then I think it was Sunday, I just, right before the game, another one. It's always a couple of seconds before lockout where I go, I think Baker will help my forward line in the long run. And then Dale comes out, kills it. Baker does that, and yeah. little bit depressed. And the week before that, it was right the Anzac game. I had an awesome move, a strategical move in place for the week, and then it was a Thursday night, Melbourne versus Tigers, and I just had Petrarca. I'm like, he's going to get 200. He's going to get 200.
Yeah.
I brought Petrarca in. I took the VC off Gorn. I put it on Petrarca right on the last second countdown, and you wouldn't have seen me in live chats for a week. I was just depressed. I sabotaged my team, and then had about a week off, and then come back, and I think I dropped 200 or 300 ranks, and then back into the 100. So I'm happy again, and I'm here.
Oh, that's good, mate. Good to have you back. It's hard as well. It's good to see that you're on the way back as well. Like looking across your team, you've structured it very, very nice. Starting Dacos would have been something that gave you a little bit of a leg up, as you mentioned. When did you bring Dakes back in?
As soon as I could. After his bye. I can get the trades up, but yeah,
it would have been around
a week or
6,
two
I
after.
think. Was it potentially? Was that Collingwood's buy?
Yeah, pretty
around.
Pretty
just
sure.
to guess. It'd be one of those, but that's smart because I mean, getting him there would have been pretty much bottom price for good old Wispy Dakes, and you've you've obviously maximised on the value there. Round 5, sorry, it was their buy, and that was his bottom price. Down at 566. So, geez, you've saved about 90k there, or 85k off his price. So, you've done very, very well.
Last few. Yeah, I've thrown a bit of money away in the next few weeks though.
Oh, yeah.
Wasted. I think I brought Green in at max price, and then it started from there. Then I brought Petrarca in at pretty much max price and threw that away. And,
but at least you're in a spot now where, looking at your team. In terms of you've got obviously a D6, but if you switch Martin back there, you could potentially plug in 2 more primos in the midfield. So you've got the 2 rookies. You've got Sweet. No doubt you'll be aiming for someone like an English down the line. So you've probably got 4, 5 rookies or 5 spots that you want to upgrade. So you're in a pretty good spot, and the guys you've got are pretty good standard, and the flexibility you've got as well. I've only just noticed that you've got Flanders in the midfield. You could switch him forward to really, bulk up your forward line if need be on a given week. Flexibility there that I haven't seen with other teams. So even defence as well, like Nick Martin playing in your midfield, a lot of people have him in defence. And you've done pretty well there structurally wise.
Yeah, I think even from early days, I really my defence was the strongest point. I just kept upgrading my defence. And even coming into the last few rounds, I've just been getting more defenders, and then pushing Young and Martin into the forward line. And come round 12, we'll worry about the forward line, I reckon.
Yep, exactly.
And
right.
the rookies.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat, and I think a lot of people will as well. It's one of those spots where it's almost the reverse of last year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jonno there. I'm backing you in for a strong finish, he says. And I'm likewise as well, because you're in a very, very fortunate position where you've got flexibility across the board there, which is very, very underrated, I think. And, despite the fact that you may have gone for a bigger new one and stuff as well, there are guys that you've got which are still making you money. Great to see as well you've kept Jai Clark, much like myself and Liam, just backed it in. So you've got a hidden rookie there that a lot of people traded out, and that was part of the reason as well why I kept him, because it means that you don't have to reach for another rookie downgrade. You've already got one sitting there, whereas someone else has already used another trade. So yeah, good spot. Jonno says, how many trades have you got left, Skits? If you want to divulge that, of course, you don't have to, but or you can just let us know if there are any boosts or whatever. But have you gone hard early, much like myself?
No, I've got at the moment I've got 1 boost left.
That's good.
But the last 2 weeks I've just thrown my boost away, just really stupid trades.
Yep.
So I could have had potentially 3, but I reckon next year it's all learning. So next year I'm going to take all these little lessons in, and I reckon I'll hopefully be a bit stronger next year and wiser and not too greedy point
Yep.
chasing.
So would you still use your boosts? It would be interesting to hear what your thoughts are, because I mean it's probably like your first or second big year that you've kind of invested into SuperCoach. You're learning so far. Would you say that you'd be keen to use your boosts early as you can, maybe leaving one or two later on, or would you just go for broke?
Yeah, I reckon like my team wasn't too flash starting off. Like I had short. Um, I had wines wasn't too bad. But as long as they're scoring your 80s kind of thing and keeping you in the mix, you just got to kind of identify if you don't like what you're seeing, and if you do like what you're seeing with someone else, and just kind of weigh up the options and the percentages of how it can help or benefit your team. Like me straight away with short, and then like I wanted to start Ryan, I wanted to start Sarong. I didn't have him last year, and as soon as all we could go off was preseason information, and as soon as I seen that, I was just like straight away, just flip, get them out, and I just knew having the Freo and poor players would help me come the buys.
Yeah, that's a fair point as well, because I know that was a train of thought that I saw some people have with almost overloading their team with Freo and poor players. But yeah, it looks as though you found like a really happy medium, which is like in retrospect, which I haven't really thought about as yet. But it looks as though that was the play to try and find a happy medium, provided you're obviously jumping on the best players from both teams. Did you end up, I guess, like considering Rosie, considering he's from Port, or was it like you like the look of Butters, Houston?
I had him
another
last
one?
year.
Oh, you had him last year. Did you consider him this year?
I didn't have Butters last year, and I wanted Butters, so it was. And I had this thing last year. I was big on the new captains, and I thought because they're captain they would score well, but I reckon it hindered their scoring and their just the way they went about it, and just being a bit selfless in the team. So this year, Rosie was captain, so I went with Butters because I didn't have him. Who else? Yeah,
You've got Jackson.
Butters because I didn't have
you've
him.
got Sarong, Young, Houston, Ryan. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
started Ryan as well.
So the Grundy. No, it was I think week 2. So my first trade was Martin. Yeah, I traded Martin out, and then the week 3, I got rid of Short and someone else and brought in. That was my first boost, was getting Ryan and Sarong in.
Oh wow, yeah,
and a rookie.
yeah, nice. And what were you going to say about Grundy?
Oh, that was another plan from the start, was just to have that 3-way loop: Gawn, Grundy, and Livingston and Jackson. Sorry, and for the first round of buys, it helped out a bit, and I really wanted to hold on to it this way. I wish Sweet never popped up, to be honest, but
Yeah,
couple of weeks, last week and a couple of weeks, like only now, Sexton might be in the mix. Reed's coming back. Biggie was, I got stuck. It was I done the trade with Petrarca straight in, and then I just needed someone, and then with Tunstall as well. That was I just didn't even check the subs that came to it, and I was like, he was the sub. As soon as I brought him in, it was just a waste. But him, hopefully, with all the injuries last week, that he'll get a shot this week and make some cash.
Yeah, I reckon he will. You're a fair chance there. At least benefiting, silver lining from all the Lions injuries there. I reckon he'll come back in. But yeah, no, you've done pretty well. I started with Naismith in my side, as you can see there, and I was kind of using him just as a bit of a, I don't know, like Nank having been underdone, had that injury, like that foot injury, which was the second time it cropped up. I thought, he might break down. Just a bit of a prediction early season, and he might get a bit of a fair crack. And it didn't happen, but starting now to get a bit of a crack. But he's in the forward line. He's made me like 50, nearly 60K or thereabouts. But now I'm coming back to regret it, because if I had Livingston, I've already got Jackson. I would be able to do the easy switch to cover Sweet. But much like yourself, as you said, I just wish that Sweet never popped up at the time being, because sliding doors, I was planning to get English into my team at bottom price. Sweet popped up, and then I've just changed things completely. I'm like, okay, I'll bring in Merritt. Merritt wasn't even on my radar, and then I've brought him in, and then it's just flipped on its head, and then I'm planning to get Butters and wait for English, and English is going to go
Almost
up
had
to
him
his
last week.
back up to his starting price. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's one of those things, sliding doors, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I might bring in English this week. If Sweet's not named, seems like the right time.
Yep.
Nice, Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas is going
You gotta read
pretty
that out
well
of
as
me,
well.
Damo.
Yeah, Jonas. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
ranked
good stuff.
684.
That is nice.
And you're 203 points ahead.
Very
So
nice. Very nice.
yeah, neck and neck.
Yeah, it's not much. In it.
Jonno,
What?
getting Houston in 2 weeks and Stewart next week. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, what were we going to say?
I'm
Sorry,
thinking about Stuart this
Skits?
week.
Yeah, what plans are you thinking this week? So if Sweet plays, did you have a specific plan to bring in players, or is it more just to recoup the funds buy down going into a Darcy Jones?
Yeah, I'm not too fussed on Darcy Jones. It'll be nice. Like as soon as Green went down last week, I was like, I need to get some cash and do a bit of a budget option here, and sort myself for this week. And first plan was to have McKercher come back in because he'll help me through the buys as well. But I don't know. When it gets closer and closer to game day, I get more and more greedy, and I want the best primos that I can get. Last week I was set on Dale, and now I've got Baker, and I'm thinking, do I just sideways straight away now? But I reckon Baker might. Now that Tigers may have a few mids coming back, Prestia, Bolter, not in the mid, but helps the team, and Graham, that'll help Baker as well. So I might just keep that. I'm thinking about Green. I was going to do it the other week. I was going to get rid of Green, but I would have missed out on that monster score. And then, everyone copped his score this week. But his break even, I've just got a feeling that he's going to play this week because it's Callum Ward's 300th game. So he might even be the sub. He just has to be there. And it's even though he's cleared of injury, it's a bad one. It's bad enough to get subbed off, and he's tough. So it's going to be a lingering kind of swollen, sensitive ankle. So I'm thinking if it's a couple more 80s and 90s throughout, he's going to drop down to 450. So might get him after the buys or something and see if I can, Dale, Clary and save the boost maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it as well, similar to that, but it would come in handy if I go for, which I don't normally do. I like to sort of aim for surplus guys that are surplus to requirements that you can have, like an M9 or a D7 or an F7, that sort of thing, where you can loop their scores off the field. But now that Clary's cropped up and he could potentially be back in form, I am considering for Clary, which I'm kind of half expecting him to have a bit of a day out against my mob as he always does. Next week, I might bypass Butters and go for Clary for the value sake side of things, in mind of using him as a bit of an M9 and then aiming for Butters down the track, and hopefully doesn't exceed his price point too much, and using that as a bit of a point of difference really, because like you say, you almost need to be thinking outside the box like you are with Green, that sort of stuff where you're trying to predict things, and you're totally right. Like Green, if he plays, I'm totally expecting him as well to have a bit of a down week. But having said that as well, I remember early season, Lockie Neal rolled his ankle really, really badly. And I think he actually missed a week, but then he came back and I was a photo of his ankle I saw and it ballooned. He had a cankle. It was incredible. I have no idea how he moved his foot, but he ended up playing on during that game.
Yeah.
And then, he actually came back and his foot was still ballooned, really, really badly bruised, and ended up playing quite well. So I don't know, with Green, he's the sort of player in and under. He doesn't really need to move around the ground too much, but even though he's like at Paddy Cripps virtually, but all of his points in and under type work, he might still be able to punch out nice scores. So I don't know, but yeah, again, it's one of those things you kind of need to predict.
And save the trade as well.
Yeah, save the trade. Yeah, so I'm in the boat of keeping him, even if he's out for a week and have to field a rookie. But I think the benefit that you have there is you've got Clay Hall, which you might be able to, and as well Jai Clark. And I haven't looked at the fixture in terms of order of games and stuff, but you could potentially put the emergency on Jai Clark. And if he busts out a nice score again, a lot of people no longer owning him, you could use that to your advantage, and then use that as a bit of a loop. And then even if if Green plays, when does the Giants play actually? Because what you could do is, if Green plays or slated to play and has a bit of an off game, if you put him on the bench with the emergency, and God forbid if he breaks down or something in game again or has a bit of a down game, you could use that to your advantage maybe, and you get some extra points on the back of other players if someone on your bench outscores them. But I don't know who it would be. Like, I'd be surprised if a Garcia can bust out a score bigger than Green, even if Green's been underdone. But you have to think outside the box, don't you?
I think I've got about 230 in the bank this week. So I was thinking about trading either Biggie. I can do Biggie, Garcia, and get Dale, then put Closey down into the midfield, and then Green off the bench onto the bench. Or I was going to get rid of I can get rid of Darcy, and I was thinking Darcy, Closey, and then I can get Dale and Clary. So I'll keep playing around with it, and probably come the last minute do something completely different and silly, and then be a bit upset for a week. But I'll try to be a bit smarter about it this week.
Yeah, you're in a good spot anyway where you are, like ranked 97th, and the bones of your team, the structure is very, very nice, as I said. Like, so you probably don't need to do anything too outlandish. It probably helps as well with Green being so highly owned. But again, you can look at the other side of the coin and being like, well, if he's highly owned, if you go against the grain and kind of try and get a leg up as well, there's that side of it. So I can understand the psychology behind, considering both moves in the situation you are, whereas normally I probably wouldn't do it. But it comes down to, again, as well, like how many trades you have, how many upgrades you have left to go, and if you can afford to maybe, waste a trade on a sideways move. But yeah, you can probably assess it. Like the Giants, they play, what's that, on Saturday? The second game on Saturday. So, Garcia will play before then. Clark will play before then. The Gold Coast play after the Giants. So yeah, you could probably try and use first and foremost some leverage off your bench that you've got with a couple of loops if you can, and go from there, or DPP switches and stuff. But yeah, you don't need to do anything too brash as yet. And yeah, I can understand you being a bit gun shy as well, because you've brought in as you said, Track, higher price point, Green, which again just comes down to bad luck, I think, because I was actually looking at Track early on as well, and just went against it. I don't know why, but yeah, there was a match up there. It looked as though he should. I think it was against Richmond. He should have smashed it, didn't, and I was like, "What the hell?" So yeah.
I'll go for the Tigers too. It hurt. It was so.
Oh,
it was such a weird feeling. Like I was rooting for the Shark, and I just seen Pickett just doing an awesome job. I was like, "Oh, well done, Pickett."
Yeah.
Bastard. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Barracking against your own team. Yeah. It's a strange feeling. It's like tomorrow night, like Gawn, I'll be barracking for Gawn, but also not, obviously don't want him to play that well, because it might affect our chances of having a win. It's a funny game. But I might wrap this up, mate, because my wife, I think, has arrived home, and I haven't said hello to her since she's arrived, and she'll be going to bed very, very soon, and I should be as well. Probably should wrap it up now. And thank you so much for jumping on, mate, and putting a face to the name, as I said, and for your support across the journey. You've been one of the big OG long-time supporters, and yeah, we can't understate how much we are appreciative of that, mate. So thank you.
I love your work too, mate. Thanks.
Easy, mate. Sorry, before you go, there's a question here, quick one, late one from Jonno. Skits, are you looking at short next week if he backs it up this week as a Tigers man?
I felt so bad bringing in Martin last week after trading him out, but it was so nice watching him. If he plays well again, and what's his price going to be? 380 or something?
Yeah, he looks like a
ridiculous... He might be on the up now, will he?
Yeah, I think he's about 400k, I think. No, touch under, sorry, 384.2k. Yeah, so he's super cheap.
Yeah. I don't know. If he has a good one, he's going back up, is he? Or
Yeah, so he's projected if he scores a
what's
60.
his?
The SuperCoach Plus have a bloody. They have him projected for dinner for 269 ding ding, which you'll score more than that, surely.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I think if he has another good week, he'll probably go up to close to about 390 odd at a guess. Might be a touch under 400 still, but yeah, around about the 400k mark.
For me, I think my backline's pretty strong. I'll probably pass. I don't trust his body. And as a Tiger man, bit of that jinx thing. Like I brought in Gibkiss, and I really didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then he'd done his knee, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm not doing that." Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I probably won't. I probably won't.
Yeah, no, I totally agree as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got my defense now set. So yeah, I mean, you could try and get him, and I mean, hope that he's going to be a nice D7 down the track and loop him on field for a big score. Like I could probably do it with a Wangan and Miller who hasn't been as reliable in recent times, but I'd much prefer to just upgrade the rest of my team first and foremost, and yeah, think about that later. And Clary's probably the only guy I'd look to do that early on, just because he'd be able to punch out scores for you on field and could be a potential keeper. And then maybe someone else is relegated to the bench, like a Steele as an M9 if he drops off again. But yeah, with Short, I don't think so, but I can see the appeal with the price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy, no worries. We'll round it out here. Rookie Coach AFL, great stream, mate. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, and thank you as well, Skits. You're an absolute legend, as I said, and appreciate you and your support across the journey.
No, cheers. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate, and best of luck for the rest of the season as well. Ranked 97, Skits Fits, everyone. Get behind him. He is our beacon of hope for SuperCoach Edge here. So we'll be like cheerleaders. We'll don the pom-poms, the skirts, all that sort of stuff we need to, and we'll be there cheering you on, mate. So thanks again.
Well, just one thing. If Jonas is going to burn that hat, I'll take it off him, and I'll rep it as a bit of a sponsorship, I reckon.
Exactly right.
He won that, and he wasn't even in the stream that first time.
Exactly, he wasn't there.
Wasn't make a new rule.
Exactly. Yep, spot on. Well, actually, I think we've got a spare hat here, Skits. So hit us up on Discord, and we'll send it out your way, mate. And we'll get you to take a photo and rep it for us, because you are deserving. And I hate the wheel of misfortune, as it turns out to be. So let us know your details. Slide into our DMs, and we'll send it out your way, mate.
Beautiful. Appreciate that. Awesome.
And then when you win SuperCoach overall, you can be wearing it. That's all we ask, and then you'll be holding the cup. Replace the one you got in your head, so you can.
At the moment, I'm in like a few leagues, and if I win it, I'm gonna have like 10 fingers worth of SuperCoach rings. It'll be awesome.
It's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that, because Adam, one of our OG supporters as well, actually mentioned that in one of my via DM, and I sent through the old Tom Brady gif of like Brady having his like 6 rings or whatever it is. So that's virtually going to be you.
Yeah. I'll get some grills like Gator.
Yeah. Exactly right. Easy, mate. Well, you are in line as well. You're in line for if you can topple, of course, the man Dow Never, who's in first place at the moment, because he's in line for it at the moment. But regardless, you're going to have the SuperCoach Edge hat, so that's almost as good as a ring. So if not better. So
absolutely.
Easy, mate. And Jonas, just to round us out last time, I promise, I might make some mods to the hat rather than burn it. Jonas, I just can't believe you said you're going to burn it, mate. That's sacrilegious, mate. Sacrilegious. But no, you'll be able to don it with some pride. Skits, so we'll send it out your way, as we said. And thanks again for tuning in.
Cheers. See you next time.
Thanks, mate. Awesome. Thank you, Skits. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll wrap this up here. It's been a mammoth stream, actually. 2.5 hours. Usually go for only about an hour. So, slap on the wrist for me. Slap on the wrist, slap on the back of the head from the wife, I think, at a moment. But thank you for tuning in, as always, ladies and gents. Appreciate it, as always. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, if you can, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Just give us some support which people have been getting behind us as well. I can see that, so appreciate that. Appreciate the love and support by everyone. And Jonas says, "Thanks. Go and have a couple of dinners, Damo." Yeah, you're talking about the old dinner for two. Very good, Jonas. You are a classic. Slim, magnificent, Damo, hole in one, mate. It's all in the hips. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Thank you, and thank you, Jonno. Much love to everyone, and we'll catch you in our next stream. Of course, just a reminder, we won't be having our live stream tomorrow night. Obviously, tonight was to supplement that because I'll be at the game. So, yep, apologies in advance. But hopefully this has filled that hole, as you mentioned there, Slim. It's a hole in one, the hole that we're referring to there. And we'll catch you in our next stream. We'll see you next time. Thanks, peeps.